Hello, 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 everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. It is Friday the 13th. It is time for Horror Christmas. I heard there's some that are really much more horrifying than this, which I might be a little bit too afraid to um, watch. So I'm going to introduce my partner in crime, my grilled cheese to his tomato soup. My let's see, my peanut butter to his jelly. I can't think of any more. My marshmallows to his hot chocolate. We are absolutely talking about Deadman Walking 55. Hello.
I want to be kind of grumpy, but I can't after that wonderful introduction, Mrs. Thank you. Love you too. How are you tonight?
I am doing fine. How are you?
I'm oblivious, but I know you are. How are you? Next,
I am
hot chocolate from Wawa. So, hey,
oh good. I'm
so
getting some stuff tweeted out here.
I'm just missing the gingerbread cookies. So,
What gingerbread cookies?
our movie.
Oh, oh
yeah,
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm sitting here posting this stuff over
yeah,
here
that's
on
okay. Well,
media real
cool.
quick here.
Yeah,
Um, but I am going to, before I continue, invite our
mhm.
special guest. He loves horror movies. Keeps trying to get. He tells me horror movies to watch. He tells me
Horror
where to watch
movies.
them. Horror, scary movie.
Horror.
Okay, I'm going to say
Okay.
scary movies.
All right. Thank
Scary
you.
movies. He tells me where to watch them, and then I say okay, and then I promptly forget. So I have watched some, but our friend Agent Atwood. Hello, Atwood.
Well, hello there. Well, by the way, just to enunciate on that, you have watched some, and notice how every suggestion that I suggested you have liked. So,
That is true. That is true. You know
I
that I
take
don't
credit.
like.
No. I will take credit for Krampus because
I'm not
I know
taking credit for Krampus. I'm
I
taking
know.
credit. I'm taking credit mainly for Orphan, which she loved.
Orphaned.
Oh my
Orphaned was
god, I
a
can't believe
really
you
good
watched that
movie.
crap. But hey, I
No,
tell you
Dad,
what,
man, you would
I
like that movie.
I know
You would
I
like that
can't
movie.
I just can't go there right now. But I tell you what though, getting her to watch Krampus was fun because she just like, oh, I can't deal with that. I can't. I'm like, look, I've watched it. I
I
think
thought
you
it was
can.
going to be more gory than it was.
Yeah.
Well, there is another movie I'm convinced that she's gonna watch here soon. It's gonna be A Christmas Horror Story.
Ugh,
So by this time next year, she's gonna watch it
no.
because I mean, it's Krampus and Santa fighting to the death. You can't not watch that.
I might like that one. I might like that one. Well, let me get through the
Sounds like an
chat
Alien
here.
versus Predator movie. But yeah, I'm sorry,
Let me
Mrs.
get through the chat here real quick. We have Buddy Hepburn. Hello to you. I hope you are doing well today. And yes, welcome. And please hit the like and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. And we have Seribot and Stream Elements. So it's just hit 10 o'clock. I noticed that there were other people streaming. So I don't know who we're going to get here tonight or not, but
No,
I don't care because we're going to have a fun time talking about this movie. And who's in the chat, and we will enjoy it and have
no.
a
It's
wonderful,
sort of
wonderful
my
time.
it's sort of my fault. We life one of those life event things I had to
Oh,
deal with
well,
tonight. So
it had to happen. I mean, we
yeah,
couldn't do it any other time. So, I am so happy that Buddy is here and we can talk about it because I know he likes horror movies a lot.
Oh, and Dad,
I,
man,
go ahead.
this is the last thing. There is something that will sell you on the movie, Dad, man. You know what it is?
but
It's got William Shatner as the talk show host.
Does he die?
He's the main storyteller.
well, as long
Uh,
as JT Kirk's not here, I could. Shatner's not a Shatner's not
you
a hook
talk
for me.
about. I am a great
Now
actor.
Nick Cage
You know
maybe
what's funny? You know what's funny? He
Nick
talks
Cage could be
nothing
good with
like that
that.
in the movie.
He doesn't talk like that in the movie.
No, he actually has like a decent voice.
Oh, good.
He
Well, I tell
actually
you,
does, but it's like sometimes it's funny. He's
I
funny.
still like him as the dodgeball commissioner.
Yes. I think Nick Cage would be good. I like Nick Cage in anything, and Nick Cage can't
because
act at all.
he plays the same role and
He
everything.
plays Nick Cage.
You know who? You know what's funny? You know what his most memorable role is? Funny enough.
Nick Nick Cage?
Well, yeah, but it's in a horror movie when he's in The Wicker Man when he goes not the bees,
Oh gosh.
not the bees. Yeah,
Not the bees.
yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy. I won't mock I will no longer mock the chat.
I don't know if he's talking about you or if he was talking about what I was doing. So
I was the one doing the voice. I was the one mocking.
yeah,
I'm
but
so
I
sorry.
said he's not a hook. That he's kind of mad. But
Well, that's okay. If you don't,
oh
people
no,
don't have
well
to
that's
like
kind
it.
of
So.
mocking it. But you remember what happened last year on our 24-hour New Year's stream? That JT Kirk was with us, and when I said Star Trek Wrath of Khan was meh, he actually went on camera to look at me. Like, it was hilarious.
Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have over 200 slides to present for this thing. So we all have our papers ready. First off, I'm going to talk about the shows that we have already talked about. We have, let me put this on here like this. Boop. We have talked about Jingle All the Way. I gave it 3 Christmas trees. Dadman gave it 8 popcorn buckets. Atwood, what would you have rated Jingle All the Way? How many
I'm sitting at a solid 4.
a solid 4. And then we had Gremlins.
Mainly, and, I mean, it's just a reskin Kindergarten Cop. The only reason I even give it a 4 is because put the cookie down.
Yes, put the cookie down.
No,
That's it.
No.
If it wasn't for that line, I'd probably give it like a negative, like a 2, and that's being generous.
And
no.
Buddy says 3 works for me. And Gremlins, okay, Gremlins, I gave it an 8 out of 10. Um, and Dad Man gave it a 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Yeah,
you
it was
think
actually.
Goonies is better than Gremlins, but
Ghoulies is far better than
Well,
Gremlins, and I
but
will
well,
stand
Goonies
by that.
is Goonies a Christmas movie though?
Ghoulies,
No, no,
Ghoulies, not
Ghoulies.
Goonies, Ghoulies. But honestly, I like
I
Gremlins.
know
That's the
what
first time I ever saw
Ghoulies? What the? I've
Ghoul.
never even know what
Yeah,
that
it's
movie is.
Ghoulies. It's not Goonies. It's Ghoulies. It's an
Ghoul.
all
Well,
shot of
Ghoul.
terroristic little animals.
You
But
know, it's
that
fu-
was the first time I ever watched
Oh, wait
Gremlins.
a
So
minute! Stop.
yeah.
it's funny because they
So Ghoulies,
go.
Ghoulies.
Yes, it actually went into production before Gremlins, and it was actually scheduled to come out before Gremlins. But
I don't even
uh,
know that movie. I'm gonna look it
just
up. Ghoul.
yeah,
I thought.
it's hilarious. It's great.
I
The
gotta-
second one, the second one, and
Oh, I think I vaguely remember.
the second one's better than the first one. And I was that one. Gremlins. Both of them have vouchers for them, but Goalies, the second one is just superior in every form. The only good thing the first one has is it's got the I can never remember her name. She's in Law and Order SVU. Mariska Hargitay, I think her name is. It's got her in it, and that was her very first movie. That's the only good thing about that movie.
Okay,
The second one
Ghoulies.
is great. It's so funny. It's one of those movies you can't take it seriously. You really can't.
Critters. Now, critters. I vaguely remember. They're like little
Crit
furry things.
Crittles is it's probably my 3. Well, no. It would be Ghoulies, then it would be Gremlins, and then it would be Chud if you know what that is, and then it would be Critters.
Chud sounds familiar, but I didn't remember Ghoulies. So
Ghoulies is
okay.
great.
So Gremlins. Would you rate Gremlins?
I
I don't.
probably
I'm putting you on
I
the spot.
I'd give it a 5.5 because it's not exactly a 5, but it's not a 6 either.
I got you there. Okay, then we did Alistair Sims, and I know you think Albert
Buddy had
Finney's
a
Chris.
thought on that.
I have already read that. For me, it's
Okay, sorry.
Gremlins, Critters, and Ghoulies. Yeah,
Sorry.
Buddy
Puppet
Hepburn,
Master is up there too.
but it's
Ooh.
not like it's not like in the same category as Gremlins though. Puppet Master is in the category of Chucky more,
Oh, so these are
or
Gremlins,
or
Critters, and Ghoulies are creature
and
kind of
Chud
horror.
and Chud, yeah.
Should. So, A
Um,
Christmas Carol, 1951. What would you? We both gave it 8. It's at the Alistair Sim. I know that you're partial to Albert Finney, but have you ever watched this one?
yes, I have. I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. I'm going to give it a it definitely wasn't bad. I wish they would do like they did the original Little Shop of Horrors where they made a recolored version. That I think that would be cool.
Oh,
Um,
I hate it when they recolor black and white films.
no, some of them are good, some of them are bad. Um, but I think I would give it a seven. At least I'll give it like a seven probably. It is one of the better versions of them.
And
I'll tell
hello, Sashi.
I'll tell you one version of A Christmas Carol that what I was expecting to enjoy, but I didn't was the one with oh my gosh, I have his face, Patrick Stewart, where he plays
Mhm.
Scrooge. Which sounds great on paper, but he is the most monotone person in that movie. He just
Right.
every
It
line that leaves his mouth sounds like he's just reading off the piece of paper. He's like, I like this. I don't like you.
Oh, very interesting. I have not
He's
seen
like,
the
dude,
Patrick
you're not.
Stewart
I'm like,
version
dude, you're
of
not
it.
even trying.
And Buddy likes humanoids from the deep more than Chud.
I don't even think I've heard of that.
Well, we might have to watch that one. We'll have to look for it. So that was those, and then let's see what are our next ones.
Buddy Hepburn, you will come to find out that I have a thing for bad movies.
Bad movies are not bad. Uh,
So I well,
so so
I'll
the
take that back. I like so bad they're good movies. That's what I like.
I get that. So Santa Claus, I gave it a 6 out of 10. Dadman gave it a 5 out of 10, and the only reason it got 6 for me is because of Tim Allen.
Yeah, I mean I mean as like I said, a movie's only as good as its star.
Yep, and that's why, Elf has got the rating it has.
But
So what would you do for Santa Claus? I'm putting you on the spot, I didn't
that
tell you I was gonna do
yeah,
this.
no, I was expecting it. That is one of the movies where my favorite Santa Claus is the third one. The third one is the best one
Is
in my
that the
opinion.
one with, Martin Short, the Jack
Yes,
Frost one?
yes, that's my favorite one. Um, that one I could watch every year. This one it's not that great. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well,
At first I was giving it a five, but now that I think about it, I'm gonna give it a four solely because don't get me wrong, I love Tim Allen. He does help make it, but he's just not that he's just too much of a jerk in this movie, if you catch my drift. Like he's
mm,
just a jerk just to be a jerk almost at this point.
mhm, gotcha.
Like the only person he's like actually morally better than is probably the stepdad because he's just a downright creep.
His
Um
stepdad isn't really a creep.
he yes,
He's a psychiatrist, that's what his issue
he
is.
if you okay, if whoever gave him his license needs to go to jail because no, he is everything a psychiatrist shouldn't be. He puts so many things over that child's priority that it's honestly scary. Like the fact that they allowed him custody worries me deeply.
Well, when you have
And
your
this
kid
and
telling
then
the
and then
judge that, "Hey, my dad thinks he's Santa Claus."
and what movie did this come out in?
What year? I don't
What
remember.
year was it? The 90s or was it the early 2000s?
I think it was in the 90s, 95 maybe?
Either
I don't
way, it's a
94.
sorry. Okay, yeah, a sorry excuse for whoever gave him his license. They need to like they had a psychotic break and they need to reassess their whatever they did.
But, Buddy Hepburn says, "Humanoids from the Deep" was the first film James Horner did the score for. If you listen to this and Battle Beyond the Stars, you hear most of what he is credited for after. And he goes also to you, add what he says, "I love old midnight movies."
What do you mean by old midnight movies? Because I know of several different definitions
There
of that.
used to be when, how I define midnight movies, and there used to be when we had network television and the station would either sign off if it didn't, they would show old movies like B movies and the
Okay.
hokey
Yeah.
movies and stuff.
Yeah, like on BBC America. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Or TCM. I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they show kind of the not the the cheap movies that you can
The
you
the
can
the
get
the the
and
one
air.
the ones that didn't get the attention they deserved. Okay.
Not even that, not even that. Having worked in a TV station, what they would buy for late night was stuff that was, very inexpensive. So they would buy, like you said, the
Hmm.
50s, 60s sci-fi and horror movies
Some
that
of them I
Well,
like.
that well, that's why, like in Gremlins 2, the old man got put to the 3 o'clock shift. The old over the time late night where you when the stations did stay open,
yeah,
he got put into some kind of remote thing where you stuck those kind of old movies. So
yeah, yeah.
It
Sashi,
it it depends on the movie. Like you'd have to give me a couple of examples, and I'll tell you if I like them or didn't like them.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I could watch them.
Elvira was a late night. I
No,
mean, she was
oh,
weird,
okay. I
late
liked
night
Elvira.
stuff.
I
Yeah, but
could get down
the
with some
point is they
Elvira.
shoved them into those really really late night
Um,
Right.
Tales from the
time
Crypt
slots.
Keeper.
So
Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Do y'all remember that one?
I remember that.
I love Tales from the Crypt, or the better version of that, Creep Show. Creep Show was better.
Mhm.
I loved Creep Show.
Well, Sashi says, I remember seeing Santa in a skit. He was being interrogated by the Soviets, and he said he was a communist. He wears
Yes.
red and distributes gifts equally to people that behave.
And then they did something vaguely like that in the second Santa Claus movie, which was somehow weirder than the first one. But
Mm. Okay, so Elf, we gave it both 4 out of 10.
Mm,
And
mm,
I, I don't really know why I
yes.
gave it 4. I probably should have given it less. I
Mhm.
think I was just being kind
I would give it
because
a
I hate Will Ferrell.
I would give it a 1.
it's
And
not
that's
that bad. It's
and
not that bad.
yes, it is.
No, it's
And
got enough redeeming funny scenes into it, but
there's
I
only
can
one.
understand the
There's
world.
only one. The only scene that I liked from that movie, and it only because it brings back movies. So when I was in high school, I took French class, and we would during Christmas time, each of the French classes had to do a different Christmas song in French, and one of ours was "Let It Snow," or "C'est
Uh,
l'hiver" in French. And one of the kids in there decided at we after we had practiced, we would all go into the gym and just the French classes, and we would all perform our songs for the other French classes. Well, he decided at the very end of our song, instead of doing what like walking off, he decided to start screaming, "Santa! Oh my God, Santa, are you here?" Santa here. He started from Elf, and it was hilarious. Of course, a lot of people, which kind of hurt my soul. A lot of people didn't get it, but a lot of the teachers did. But it was hilarious. We were all in tears,
oh,
laughing.
that's so funny. Hey, buddy, I used to work at a station and I'd play the Star Spangled Banner. I would close out the night.
Like yeah, like the first episode of Friends or Poltergeist. Poltergeist was a dang good movie for its time too.
Mm. So
Have you seen
now,
Poltergeist?
and
I'm
now we're
assuming.
gonna go, and now we're gonna go talk about the movie that we've watched for today. I am not answering that question because I will get yelled at.
It's PG, so that's the only reason I asked that one, because
No,
it's
no,
PG.
I probably didn't. So we are not going to tell what our review of Krampus is until the end of the show. So here we go. Krampus. Krampus.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
All I'm going to tell you is you're not going to expect my rating. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay. So, well, you've already told me your rating, so you better not change it. Because
No,
I can't change. Okay. Krampus is a 2015 Christmas black comedy folk horror film based on the eponymous character from Austro-Bavarian folklore. It was directed by Michael Dougherty, who co-wrote with Todd Casey and Zach Shields. The
do you know what?
concept
Okay, I'll shut up.
The concept for Krampus began in 2011 when Doherty was planning to make a Christmas-themed horror film, with him and Shields writing the screenplay. Production on the film began in 2014 with Doherty directing and writing a new screenplay with Shields and Casey. And I know that for a fact that he wrote a new screenplay because I actually pulled the script up online because I was using it to get some of the quotes, and a lot of it was completely different. scenes and stuff like that. It was very, very interesting to see how it evolved into the movie. Principal photography on the film began in March 12th of 2014 and wrapped up on May 2015. Creature effects were made by Weta Workshop, and Krampus was released in the United States on December 4th, 2015. It received mixed reviews and grossed over $61 million against a $15 million budget. So that is about Krampus. And Buddy says the first Poltergeist is great. Reverend Kane and the second still creeps me out. So there we go. Deadman, are you going to put up
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just letting you go through the preview
He's
so
one of
thing.
those
Yeah.
people.
go ahead. What?
There was these, you know, those pictures on Facebook where it would be like, if you know this man, he creeps you out.
Oh, is
That Reverend guy was one of the main
that Reverend
ones.
guy was one
I
of them?
figured it out.
Yeah.
So here we go. We are starting our
Yeah.
production of Krampus. Um, So here we go. Let's see if I can not mess this up. I have worked on this stupid thing, so if it messes up, I am going to be pissed off. I'm just telling you that right now. So 3 days 3 days before Christmas, the Engel family, their parents Tom and Sarah, their daughter Beth, son Max, and Tom's mother Omi, I'm sorry, prepare for the holidays. Despite his family's dysfunctionality, Max still believes in Santa Claus and writes him a letter. So here we go into the opening credits. We get to hear the song, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. While we see these scenes of
Hmm.
wonderful Christmas spirit um, being played underneath it, we have salesmen being
Yes.
trampled, people fighting for presents, kids crying on Santa's knees, and some just crying by the Christmas tree. And who could forget the wonderful fight during the nativity play? The credits roll, and then we come to the opening scene of the movie, which we see Alastair Sim, A Christmas Carol, which we've reviewed. I think that's so cool. And it's playing while Uma is baking cookies.
It's not so bad, but come on, champ. Was drop kicking him into the manger really the best way to handle this?
I was under the influence. What? All we had to eat was Christmas fudge and candy canes.
Not to sound harsh, but every kid has to learn the truth someday. Looking at the family photo. Beth, can you help me hang this?
No, I didn't want it ruined for the little kids.
Have you finished it?
You're
Max
his ummy.
shakes. Huh?
You're an ummy there.
I know I read it. That was
Oh,
my line.
I know, just letting people know who was talking. Sorry.
Oh, there's a picture of her right there on screen.
Ah, okay, my bad. I was looking at the script. Sorry.
Have you finished it? Shakes his head, and we realize that he can understand her. In fact, other than Tom, Max is the only other family member who has bothered learning Omi's language. Max makes sure that the coast is clear, then he removes a letter from his pocket.
I started, but I don't know what to ask for this year.
I'm sure you will think of something. In the living room, Beth and Sarah are arguing. Because they're family, Beth, and it's only for a few days.
Last year, I found shit in my bed, Mom. Human shit.
For the last time, that was their dog.
They're why some people shouldn't be allowed to breed. Your words, Mom, not mine.
Beth storms upstairs as Sarah calls after her. I never said that. I said maybe they should have to take a test before they're allowed to breed.
Love that one.
When asked if she believed in Santa Claus, um, responded, Of course I believe in St. Nicholas. Of course, but I also believe St. Nicholas is what you make him.
What do you mean?
That to believe in him is to believe in the true spirit of the holiday, the spirit of giving, of sacrifice. I also believe in dessert before dinner.
Sounds good to me.
Let's see. Buddy says, I watched this last night. My dorm roommate kept saying, really? Every time something happened.
Which versions did you watch, buddy? I'm assuming you watched the regular because the naughty's really hard to find. But
So you'll see there'll be some extra scenes that will be on here. But yes, so Max completes his letter to Santa as Sarah's side of the family comes in for Christmas. This includes her sister Linda, Linda's husband Howard, their children Howie Jr., Stevie, Jordan, and baby Chrissy, their bulldog Rosie, and Sarah and Linda's cantankerous Aunt Dorothy. Dadman?
Okay, sorry. I was tweeting something out for you. Sorry. Uh, Holiday roast is a surprise. Cancer is a surprise. She is a goddamn nightmare. What are you thinking?
oh come on, she's not that bad. And besides, she tricked me. I thought we were just dropping off gifts, but she came to the door with a suitcase. What was I supposed to do? Leave her alone on Christmas?
No, but you could at least warn me when one of your mistakes is going to become my problem.
You think everything's a mistake?
Max wants to maintain family. Oh, you watched it on Peacock. Assume the regular as it didn't say anything special. It probably was
Where's
just
the
the
regular?
regular version. Um, Max wants to maintain family traditions, but tensions among his relatives sap their Christmas spirit.
Dorothy, so what kind of godforsaken concoction are you whipping up now? You know how this fancy food clogs my pipes.
Well, how about we go to your trailer for Christmas next year, hmm? And after you've spent weeks decorating and cleaning, I might just waddle in and start bitching and moaning about everything you've worked so hard on.
Oh, Sarah, you know.
No, Aunt Dorothy, please, for your sake, just get the fuck out of my kitchen.
When the I'm sorry.
That line in the
The,
naughty cut cracks me up. It's so much better than the original. I'm
this
sorry,
is
but it
one of
is.
the lines they changed. It said, "Just get the hell out of my kitchen," in the version that you probably saw, buddy. This they changed that to be a little more. Um,
Some people say that cuss words doesn't always make something funnier, but in this case, it absolutely does.
yes. So when his cousins mockingly read out his letter to Santa, Max lashes out, yelling that he hates both his family and his belief in Christmas. We know you still believe in the big fat creeper. Atwood?
I'm sorry, my thing actually messed up. I don't know
Oh,
what
that's
you're talking about.
Grinning wide, Stevie pulls out Mac's letter. Max checks his pockets, realizing they swiped it.
You sure about that?
Mortified, Max tries to stop to get up, but Beth holds him back. Max, stop! He struggles as Stevie stands and clears her throat, reading.
Dear Santa, I know I haven't been great this year, and I'm sorry for that. But I was really hoping you could help me and my family this Christmas. We need you. Aw, Maxie Pad, that's so sweet.
Give it back.
Stop, Max!
Blah blah blah. Bullshit, bullshit. Aha, here we go. Maxie's wish list.
Stevie, stop! That's enough.
Wait, you're in here too, Beth. I wish me and Beth could hang out like we used to. You might have noticed that I don't have tons of friends. No, really, Max? I wish my mom and dad would fall in love again. I know they get upset a lot, but with dad away from home so much, I think they really just miss each other. Also, I wish things weren't so hard for Uncle Howard and Aunt Linda. So maybe you could lend them a hand for the rest of the year too. And that screw you! Dad does not wish we were boys.
An awkward beat as Sarah proudly enters with dessert. Who wants some creme brulee? Max makes a break for Stevie, who punches him, knocking him on his ass. Both girls pile on Max as he fights back with all he's got. Tom and Howard struggle to pull apart the kids.
I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to, but forget it. I hate Christmas and I hate all of you.
His father attempts to comfort him by telling him that even though the holidays are chaotic, he should always love his family.
You know, they're leaving right after Christmas, so we only have to survive another 3 days.
Every year it gets worse. Why do we have to put up with their crap just because we share DNA?
Because that's what a family is, Max. People you try to be friends with, even if you don't have a whole lot in common.
But why?
Because, well, okay, you kind of got me there. Or maybe it makes us work a little harder to find out what we do have in common, you know? Put everything aside and think of other people for a change. Friends, family, even the assholes you normally can't stand.
Like Howard?
I didn't want to name names.
Dad, you really believe that?
I want to, Max, but hey, bet there's still time to drop that letter in the mailbox, huh?
In a fit of anger, Max tears up the letter, tosses it out the window, and watches as they swirl higher and higher into the moonlit sky. Satisfied, he closes the window when he notices snow. Just some flurries at first, then a trickle that gives way to a full snowfall. Later that night, a severe blizzard engulfs the town, causing a power outage. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I had to
No,
clear my
I know.
throat.
I had a good clear throat clear moment there in the script.
Yeah.
I mean, they can see dust specks on Mars, but no one noticed a giant blizzard hurtling toward us?
Oh, well, when the power comes back, you can send an angry email to the National Weather Service. In the meantime, let's try to and stay calm.
I am calm. I'd just be calmer if I knew how we're going to survive Christmas with 12 people stuck in a house with no heat, hot water, or electricity.
Or food.
If you grab a stool and spatula, I'm sure you can scrape some pate off the ceiling, Howard.
Here it is.
Um,
Mom,
what,
okay.
Max?
There's a snowman in our yard.
Tom and Sarah squint outside to see the snowman in question, but clearly aren't concerned. That's that's great, Max.
Well, who built it?
Beth's boyfriend hasn't texted her back and she wants to go check on him.
Dorothy speaking. You know, you kids don't have a damn bit of patience. When I was your age, I didn't hear from my boyfriend for 2 years while he was off fighting Charlie.
That is a added scene. So you probably didn't
Really?
see that. Yes, that was an added scene.
No, actually, I did see that. I did see when
We
we went.
watched the naughty
Yeah,
cut.
yeah.
We
That was.
watched the naughty cut. Buddy did not watch the
Oh,
naughty
oh, you're
cut.
talking to Buddy. Okay,
Yeah, I'm
sorry about
talking
that.
to Buddy. Yeah. While on her way to her boyfriend's house, she sees a large horned creature jumping from house to house and chasing her. There's the horned creature right there if you can't really see it. It's kind of hard in
Hmm.
some of these pictures. As she runs and hides, you kind of remember that. As she runs and hides beneath the delivery truck, the creature leaves a jack in a box, which attacks her. Aunt Dorothy is seen groaning once again.
Oh, I'll tell you what. If I was a bum freezing on the street right now, I'd just end it.
Christ, Aunt Dorothy.
What? Even on a nice day, you wonder why they bother.
And hello, Mr. Angel. How are you today
Good movie, he
or
says.
tonight?
Tonight,
Yes,
this morning for him, it's probably
this
about 4 in
morning.
the morning, 3 or 4. Oh, and hey,
Daisy.
Hey,
Daisy Blossom
Daisy.
lurking.
Hello, hello. Thank you
Great to
for
see you.
lurking.
Did you end up watching this, Daisy? Just curious.
When Beth does not return home, Tom asks Howard to take Lucinda, their Hummer, to get Beth from her boyfriend's house. Omi tells Tom not to go. It's dangerous and they should wait for the storm to end. Tom goes anyway, and Omi is visibly shaken. On the way to find Beth, they find an abandoned snowplow.
We got to find Beth.
Howard is already walking back to the Hummer, where he opens a lockbox to reveal a shotgun and a 357 revolver.
You pack guns on Christmas?
Always be prepared, Boy Scout.
Kind of heavy.
Yeah, I know, it's Linda's.
At the house, Sarah and Linda have a nice talk.
You always do everything right.
No, I'm just really good at making it look like I do. Most days I wake up with one hand on the panic button.
Come on, I mean, you've got everything. I mean, your house looks like one big Skymark catalog.
Yeah, but with Tom traveling and Max always holed up in his room doing whatever it is boys do, and Beth spending all her time with Derek, I mean, things can get a little, I don't know, quiet.
I'm sorry, it's just the grass is always greener, you know. I mean, I'm 3 years younger, and I've managed to squeeze out twice as many kids. Oh yeah, do that math, right?
I know, you guys always seem so happy, like you could care less what anyone else thinks.
Are you jealous?
No.
You're jealous.
No, I only. It's just nice to have you around. That's all. Grandma, try not to use up all the firewood, okay? We need to make it last.
Scratch, scratch from above, something on the roof, and everyone hears it.
Mom?
Probably just squirrels.
In this weather? Scratch, scratch, scratch. They listen as it scurries toward the chimney. Something else hits the roof, bigger, heavier. Scratch, scratch, scurry, scurry. All eyes are glued to the ceiling. Max notices Ami clutching the fire poker like a weapon, staring at the fireplace, then to herself.
Elfin.
Then, with a final massive boom that makes everyone jump out of their seats, silence. It's gone.
See? Squirrels.
Right. Probably playing with their nuts.
And by the way, Daisy said she did not have time to watch this, but hey, we are
Aw.
partially recreating it. You thanks to
Yeah.
Mrs. Hard Work here.
Yes,
So
you'll get pretty much the entire show right here. Um, Omi is obsessive about keeping the fire burning in the fireplace. Tom and Harold find the boyfriend's house in ruins, and Harold sees a gingerbread man impaled to the wall with a butcher knife.
whoever did this is a demented son of a bitch.
They find the chimney split open and a large goat like hoof prints on the floor. Then Tom and Howard hear Beth's screams and run out to find her. Tom narrowly saves Howard from an unseen monster in the snow. Sarah is about to go out and look for them when they return and tell them what happened.
Alright, all of you into the kitchen right now. And Dorothy, will you please keep an eye on them?
Why me? I never liked kids, even when I was one.
Please.
All right, all right. I'll show you guys how to make peppermint schnapps.
I wish she should have won.
Flip the other side of the page. Will you go? Who's Tom?
Sorry. Will you go in the kitchen and help with the kids?
Keep the fire hot.
See, a little sugar, a little spice makes everything nice. She sips, smiles, and then she sees them begging with their eyes. All right, just don't rat me out. Dorothy lets the kids pass around the mug, each taking a sip. Even she can't help but something this quiet moment with them. And they board up all the windows.
By the way, real quick, we got the Peter fan site here with us now.
Hello.
Murder by Turkey win. Miss Angel's throwing squirrel nuts out there. Yes.
Hello, hello.
Great to have y'all
So,
here with us tonight. Thank
yes,
y'all.
thank you, thank you. So they board up the windows.
Hey, Tom, I wanted to say thanks. Or, saving my ass back there.
Oh, sure, no problem.
And I just want to say, I'm sorry for thinking you were such a spineless dick all these years.
Sorry,
I get some good lines tonight. Thank you.
there's some good
Can I
lines.
can I just say um when the mom asked Dorothy to watch the kids, she should have so went off on her. I can just
Yes.
imagine her doing that in my head.
Yes,
Just go watch the damn kids.
I want to watch those damn little monsters. So Howard stands guard while everyone is asleep. He eventually falls asleep, though. With no one watching the fireplace, flames have been reduced to a smoldering embers.
That was one of the cringiest moments in the whole movie I had.
Yes,
It's
a
like,
large
you've
yes,
had one job.
one job. A
Don't
large hook with a living gingerbread man attached lures Howie Jr. to the chimney. When he takes a bite, he is dragged up the chimney despite his family's efforts to save him. Sarah sees the demented gingerbread man while trying to save Howie. Omi explains that the creatures haunting them is Krampus. I'm sorry, I was reading what Mr. Angel said. Um,
Do you want to
I'll
post it?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Well, yes, let's go ahead and read that real quick, and then I'll read what Omi says. Ginger,
Gingerbread man. Oh, sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead.
Gingerbread man didn't pay up his mortgage on his gingerbread house. He had it coming. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Santa Mortgage and Company Incorporated does not play around.
Absolutely, don't
and,
don't
and
don't mess with the man in the red suit.
and that
Yeah.
scene makes me that gingerbread scene makes me think of Willy Wonka with the Augustus Glue, whatever his name was.
Oh yes,
Well,
That's
yeah,
what that scene makes me think of.
what amazed me was the speed of the daggum gingerbread guy. It's just like pulling that chain, which was big, had a big hook, was heavy, but that thing was faster than Speedy Gonzalez.
Well, yeah, the shorter you are,
No, it just was crazy. So
the smaller you are, the
and
smaller
he
you
took a
are,
bite to
right?
the head too. The kid
yeah,
got a
Oh,
bite to the head, and so,
yes. They're
hey,
wicked little things. And if you noticed that it looked like it was the gingerbread that someone had killed in the other house. That's had him stabbed up against the wall. It was one of those, the evil gingerbread man.
and he's sitting there, and yeah, the gingerbread's like, why don't you take a little bite out of me before I attack you,
Yep.
huh?
So, Omi explains that the creatures hunting them is Krampus. It's an ancient demon who punishes those who have lost the Christmas spirit. When Omi was a child, her family and community lost their spirit due to the hardships of the war in Europe. Omi also lost hope and wished for her parents to be taken away, summoning Krampus. He and his helpers dragged everyone except her to hell, leaving behind a bell shaped bauble with his name on it. And as he had for thousands of years, Krampus came not to reward, but to punish, not to give, but to take. But Krampus didn't take me that night. He left me as a reminder of what happens when hope is lost, when belief is forgotten, and the Christmas spirit dies. Let's wait until we read that last part because Buddy says that animated part was really good. Yes,
yeah, the way they
I
inserted it.
loved that animation there where they differentiated her past, and that I agree with you. And then when they did, I didn't do it justice, but when they had the bauble and
Mm-hmm.
she was holding the bauble, and then it goes to her now holding the same bauble, um, uh, the cinematography.
Well, I like the way Krampus winked at her in that
Yeah.
animated section. That was like he knew she was there, and he like
Yeah, he
and he
left
moved
her
on.
there on
Yeah.
purpose. He left her there on purpose, like she said,
Mm-hmm.
as a reminder of
Like,
what
see what
happened.
happened. Like f around and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what he said.
yeah,
That's what he said. Fuck around and
yeah.
find out.
He said, "Yep, you found out, didn't you, chickie?"
Now I did
Mr.
want to ask. I did want to
Well,
ask you this, Bucky. A minute ago when were doing the scene with the sister and talking, that was like a whole like 2 minutes added into the movie. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you remember
mm.
that.
yeah.
Well, Mr. Angel says, I like how they honor the dark European origins of Santa.
Well, it was okay. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna comment that I watched the director kind of like his thoughts about it, and he says that the a lot of people say that Krampus was made to like be the antithesis of Santa Claus, but there's a lot that
But no,
Krampus was before Santa Claus was created.
and they made
So
Santa to be all hunky dory to
so
counteract
did
it.
was Santa made yes, so was Santa made to counteract what Krampus was?
The
So
Disney effect,
which one came first? Krampus or Santa?
the chicken or the egg.
Yeah, very interesting.
Hmm.
But so okay, so here Omi has just said her line.
Did you want
Uh,
to read those last couple words so I could
I
run
I
into it?
will I
Yeah.
will. When belief is forgotten and the Christmas spirit dies.
And Howard, what? You gonna believe this pile of senile horse shit? Evil Santa Claus? Jesus H Almighty! Suppose you'll be yammering about rabbit Easter bunnies come spring.
Howard, that's enough.
Damn right it's enough. Whoever the hell's messing with us just took my boy and your daughter, and we're sitting here listening to some twisted bedtime story? Screw that!
You just answered your own question.
When Howard opened the door to leave, he spots a fat little snowman wearing Howie's varsity jacket, positioned right up front for all of them to see. Dozens of strange silhouettes scurrying across rooftops while a chorus of snickers and whispers fill the air. That this one picture doesn't do that justice, but hearing
No.
the little "hee" and and all
And
that
seeing
just
them
was
pop out, and seeing them pop
yeah,
out.
they would pop up. It was too dark. I tried to find one where you could see it. Um,
You could see their eyes though. You could see the silhouette
yeah.
from their eyes. You could see them pop out and hide behind the little
Yeah, it
snowman.
was so creepy. This scene was really, really, really
That,
creepy.
and they and
Mr.
they and they
Angel.
played it off so well. They played it
Yeah,
so well.
Mr.
yes.
Angel chimed in here about the order of who arrived. Krampus
Yeah,
first.
Krampus is first
Hmm. He's
outdated the
first.
Christmas Saint Nicholas. Mhm.
Oh, Krampus is old, used to threaten bad children to be good, or Krampus would get them. Odd how a symbol of fear becomes a symbol of light.
Yeah, and they got the Disney effect where they made it
But
more known.
Santa still says, you better be good. Good or you're not gonna get anything.
But like it
I mean,
may,
he
it, ma-
just doesn't like steal your parents.
but it makes me think of Disney because when you think about it, Cinderella. A lot of people don't know the Grimm fairy tale version, and the Disney version became more popular. So it's kind of
Yeah,
like that, but
Right.
with Santa.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So, they run back in and Sarah, "Don't open the door."
Um,
Matt.
Dad, what do we do now?
We keep the fire hot.
December 24th, now almost completely swallowed by snowdrifts. Gnarled, icy trees crackle like bones. It might be morning, but it's still completely dark out, as if the sun itself has died. Max is seen sharing his Halloween candy with cousins Stevie and Jordan.
Added snippet, by the way. It's from my Halloween stash.
Oh,
Steve.
thanks. I thought you were. I just blended right in there. Sorry about it. Thanks. So,
Yes, the original Cinderella is a horrifying story. Yes, that's what Mr.
well,
Angel says, and that is true.
you told me about Little Mermaid. That
Little
was
Mermaid, they're
Oh,
all well, part of
oh,
Cinderella, one of them, if the stepsisters cut off their toes and stuff to try to get their feet to fit in the shoes and things like that.
ow.
Horrific, horrific. So,
oh. So I have a little trivia to add to this and which
Mhm.
makes this really interesting. Okay, so the director of this movie, Michael Dougherty, before he made this movie, he made a movie called Trick or Treat, which was an anthology all tied together by a character with a little sack on his head called Sam. And in this scene that they added in the naughty cut, if you look in his candy box, he's got a lollipop in there that was taken directly from Trick or Treat that the characters of Sam hold
Okay, that's cool. I like it when they're little things like that they bring in from other movies to,
for as the Easter egg.
yeah, exactly. Yes, the fate of the 2 evil stepsisters in some versions. Yeah, Cinderella
Yeah.
is not necessarily kind to them.
Mm.
Yep, you are so correct, you are so correct. So, Tom rummages through a junk drawer, pulls out a street map. Sarah pads in, pours, some very cold coffee. Her hands are trembling so badly she spills it all over the counter. Tom has an idea to use the snowplow to get help.
When they took Howie, what did you see up there?
You believe that story, right?
Do you?
I don't know what I believe anymore. I'm going out there to find Beth, Tom. I have to. I don't care if I die trying.
No. Grab Howard and Linda. I have an idea.
Linda is in the attic looking at the presents. She hears Jack in the Box music coming from one of the ornate boxes. Don't open the box! And is
Mm.
about to open it when Sarah interrupts her. Tom shares the plan to get the snowplow and then have everyone escape. Stevie and Jordan go to talk to Omi.
We need to talk to Grandma about what's going on.
Yeah. Walking to Omi. Omi, can we ask you something?
But what if you were good all year?
And you left out and you leave out milk and cookies and do everything else right.
I am going to apologize for my attempt at phonetically reading this language. Es, ent nicht, es ist nicht das, was sie tun, aber was sie glauben, was sind schon Aufgaben hier.
It doesn't want you to. Oh, I'm sorry. Dadmans.
Dead man, you're Max.
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting. That isn't what you do, but what you believe, what you've given up, points to his heart. In here,
But can't we make him go away?
Omi answers, but Max has trouble
I'm
understanding.
sorry.
Yeah, what's she saying? I'm not sure. She,
She's saying we're fucked. Omi
Omi shook.
shrugs in confirmation.
How'd you?
Because I'm old. I'm old enough, whoops, sorry. Because I'm old enough to know when life is coming at you with its dick out.
Another great line. Another great line.
That
I
they
do not.
added.
Okay. First off,
This I gotta get highlighted. Yes,
yes, I do not know what I spoke. I tried reading it. I butchered it, and I apologize.
I
I
presumed it was
apologize.
German. I thought,
I am not
but
sure what language it is. I apologize. Yes, and Mr. Angel says that was a cool Easter egg, and thanks, Atwood. I love trivia like that. So,
That
um,
this is that was the line that they did change for the naughty cut. Because in the
yeah,
original she says, "I'm old enough to know when life is coming at you with his pants down." Is what
yeah,
she says
she
in the
got a
original,
little bit more vulgar, didn't they? So
which is
now,
again is better.
yes, now up in the attic, the ornate boxes start moving. Something inside them throbs and undulates. Oh, that just sounds bad. Other gifts follow, twitching like eggs about to hatch.
well, kind of like I was about to make a joke about ovulate, but sorry, just
Uh-oh, wait, I gotta turn the page. Let me turn the
yeah.
page here. Max stares out the window in the storm. His binoculars then pans across the dark houses across the street until we see a huge figure perched on the roof. Max gasps, fumbles with his binoculars, but when he looks outside again, the hunched figure is gone. Max blinks, wondering if he imagined it, but knows he probably didn't. Jordan has to go to the bathroom.
Hey Stevie,
What?
I think that Dorothy clogged up the shitter.
So use the one upstairs. What? You afraid to go by yourself?
Well, I mean,
Jesus, come on.
Stevie and Jordan go upstairs to use the bathroom. They think they hear Beth in the attic. They enter the attic and we hear them scream.
yeah, shoot, I'd be scared too to go up to.
I wouldn't be. I'd say, give me a bucket. Tom, Sarah, and Linda go upstairs to find Jordan and Stevie.
Oh, Omi, I think this might be all my fault.
Howard stays downstairs to protect Omi, Max, Dorothy, and Chrissy. Howard hears noises in the kitchen and goes to investigate. Come here. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Come here, girl. Rosie runs away. Useless turd.
And thank you, Mr. Angel, for for hopefully
Who wrote?
I did
Hey,
some of the words that
you must have done it close to. You must have done it pretty good. It's better than my foreign language interpretations.
so so thank you for that. Well, Howard goes into the kitchen past the island where the gingerbread house sits, and inside something moves. He hears the scream and bolts for the door when he's hit by something small and fast. He then falls into the floor in agony. He looks down and sees 6 nails embedded in his leg. Hearing something, he looks up to see the nail gun on the counter. And holding the gun, unbelievably, is a bizarre trio of sinister gingerbread men. Thup, thup, thup. The gingerbreads fire again, but Howard grabs a cutting board, using it as a shield. He finally spots the little fuckers clustered on the kitchen island right next to the propane lantern. Howard aims his gun and boom! The lantern explodes and the gingerbreads are blasted off the counter. They hit the floor, hilariously screeching and running around on fire. And Howard enjoys watching them burn. But the gingerbreads won't give up.
Merry Christmas, Mother.
There he is, charge.
The final gingerbread lunges, about to stab Howard with a candy cane shank, when a pair of jaws snaps the gingerbread in midair. It's Rosie. The fat dog shakes and mauls the cookie to pieces.
Now that's a good girl.
Meanwhile, up in the attic, Tom, Sarah, and Linda notice something odd. The ornate gifts, they're
Hmm?
oh, Buddy says the nail gun thing was funny, but they don't work like that.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to put pressure on them for it to nail, but it made for a good gag, didn't it? That's when you have to somewhat suspend your belief. So Tom, Sarah, and Linda notice something odd. The ornate gifts, they're open, ripped and shredded from within, like something clawed and chewed its way out. They find what looks like a small wooden box, a faded jack in the box with a tiny handle, but instead of a toy, something else has emerged from the box when good cookies go
That's
bad.
one of that.
Mr. Gingerbread, cosmic horror that brings the dough.
Oh, I had some neat. I had some memes last night for bad gingerbread cookies,
Yes.
gingerbread houses.
So instead of a toy emerging from the jack in the box, something else did. It was some sort of creature. Its upper body is that of a clown, and it shoved Jordan head first into its dislocated jaws, trying to swallow her whole. Jordan is fully devoured. Then horribly, it wipes his putrid mouth and smiles. And Peter Vickman says, "You mean you can't kill zombies with a nail gun?" Uh,
Doesn't seem like it. Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, you
Okay.
Hell.
can, but
Yeah, I
This was
would.
probably one of the creepiest ass things in this whole thing. I
yeah.
know we haven't talked
Yeah.
about Krampus and stuff, but oh my god, friggin' people that have problems with clowns already,
Yeah.
this
This.
thing is like beyond demented.
For me, it was. Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Sarah is attacked by a demented porcelain Christmas cherub,
The
and Linda a rabid teddy bear.
the porcelain Christmas cherub. When I
I
saw
wish I could have gotten a better picture of it. I just
whenever I saw them using that thing, I
Hmm.
always thought of Tiffany from Chucky. I'm sorry,
yeah,
but the way they made her move looks just like Tiffany.
Yeah.
yeah, yes. And Mr. Angel says, made by Quentin Tarantino in theaters soon. Mr. Gingerbread in Reservoir Dogs too.
Rated R for Friday. You
Oh
know what's funny?
gosh. I
There is a gingerbread horror movie called The Ginger Dead Man, and guess who plays him? Guess who plays him?
Who?
Gary freaking Busey.
oh
Oh, yeah, I could see.
yeah.
Seeing that, I could see it. And Buddy
This
says you
thing,
have to be way too close to use a nail gun. Yes.
yeah, but this also talk about freaky. This angel looked like an angel chart tree topper first. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
Oh,
she
that
yeah.
was a
it looked
very
just like
intense
Tiffany.
scene. By
Yes.
the way, Daisy Blossom says, listening to this amazing radio broadcast
Oh,
adaptation.
oh, thank you.
Thank you. This is the Mrs. Spit on doing these. I like it. It's fun.
Mhm.
And Venkman tweeted out earlier about this, about come for the script read, Mrs. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Well,
the
thank you.
retweets too, folks.
So, well, thank you so much. Well, Sarah is attacked by a demented porcelain Christmas cherub and Linda, a rabid teddy bear. Tom is stabbed by a rusty toy robot.
Oh
Tom
come on!
says,
You gotta be kidding me! Come on!
while being stabbed. It just was so funny. You've got
He
it's just like at this point, his all of his senses are just dulled, and he's like, "Oh,
It's so
really?
funny. Howard has like the best like funny monologues, but Tom's got the best one-liners of the
Yes."
entire movie.
Yeah, but I wish I could have gotten his face because it just was like
It was priceless. It was
just like
so
this
funny.
resignation of,
And he played it off so well. It was
yes,
great.
yes, while he's being stabbed in the back.
He's just like, you gotta be kidding me. It's so great.
Yes.
It's
So
so good.
it is a good line. He battles the toy robot, still trying to pull the knife from his back. They careen around the room before he slams his head against an exposed pipe and is knocked out cold. The cherub cackles and wraps a string of Christmas lights around Sarah's throat, strangling her. In all the chaos, Linda catches a glimpse of the clown trying to escape into the vent across the room with Stevie. Fueled by a mother's rage, Linda screams, breaks off a sharp icicle from the attic beam, and stabs it into Teddy's eye. The bear screams as Linda hurls it across the attic, disappearing behind some clutter. She grabs an axe, cuts Sarah down, and cuts the robot in. Whoops, sorry. Got a little antsy there. She grabs an axe, cuts Sarah down, and cuts the robot in half. To the clown, she yells.
Hey, give me back my kids, you fudger!
The clown escapes and Stevie is rescued. Sarah removes the knife from Tom's back. The robot starts to attack and Sarah shoots it with a pistol. Tom is suitably impressed. Sarah, Tom, and Linda rush downstairs after they hear Max scream. Jordan's screams fill the house. Their eyes are glued to the ceiling and walls, trying to follow the noises, but they seem to be coming from everywhere. I think it's panicking. They're trying to find a way out.
We
That
boarded
was,
everything. We boarded everything.
What are we dealing with, Linda? What'd you see up there?
you don't want to know.
Ho, 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 hon, I just got my ass kicked by a bunch of Christmas cookies. So trust me when I tell you I can take it.
I'm sorry. Max sends Rosie into the vents to attack the clown. It sounds like Rosie is winning, but then the living room ceiling cracks and caves in. Excuse me, let me turn my page. And the clown's massive body hits the floor. It devoured Rosie.
Oh,
Yes, he does get into the roles. You nailed the panicked mom.
oh, thanks. I love it.
Howard Howard tried to shoot down the clown with a shotgun, but is attacked by the cherub. The teddy bear is going to attack Omi. Dorothy grabs the shotgun and blows the teddy bear into pieces. Tom and Sarah pull the cherub off Harold, and Dorothy nails it with the shotgun. Everyone turns their attention back to the clown.
And Dorothy, finish it.
With pleasure.
She raises the shotgun, but the clown no longer seems afraid. A sick smile spreads across his face as if it knows something they don't. Elfin.
Oh, shit.
Krampus's dark elves leap in through the window. They surround the clown, protecting it like a prized pet. Suddenly, heavy chains adorned with thick hooks smash through the broken window. Moving quickly, the elves attach the chains to the clown and then wrap them tight around Dorothy.
I'll see you in hell.
The elves jump through the broken window with the baby. Howard can't take it.
Twisted fairy tale horse shit.
He breaks free from the others and lunges at the clown and grabs onto its sick tail, just as the chains are pulled taut, and Dorothy, the clown, and Howard are all yanked out the window and into the darkness. The elves set their attention on the rest of the family, but stop when they hear growling and leave the house.
Hey, real quick.
Hmm.
The right after there's a part right after that right when Howard jumps through the window, it's the funniest thing and Tom sees it happen, he's just like, oh great. It's the funniest crap I've ever seen. He's
The
like,
look,
oh great. The look on
yeah,
his face, he's like he's that's and he looks just like he would say that. He's like, oh
yeah, because the stupid idiot.
it's like our
And how
our one strong guy with guns now has just gotten eaten.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, there's some of the decisions adults made in this were stupid. That was one of
Yep.
them.
And he would point them out every time. He'd be like, "Oh,
Mhm. So Tom decides to leave the rest of the family to an abandoned snow to lead the rest of the family to an abandoned snow pile on the streets, but Omi chooses to stay behind and distract Krampus.
Dad, she wants to face him. She's trying to help."
So they leave Omi in the house as they go to the snowplows. Krampus emerges from the fireplace, and I think this is the scariest scene right there. Just when he reaches out, he does his tongue thing, and then he reaches out, just his hand, and he never touches her. He just, it's like, the I'm not touching you, but he gets as close as he can. I just think that's the most
To where
creepiest thing.
to where you just got that sixth sense touch almost. It's really
Yes,
weird.
yes, it's worse.
Like he's not touching you, but you can somehow feel it.
Yes. Oh, it's just creepy to me. And then he attacks her with a bag of toys.
Now the one thing that it wasn't in either of the cuts, but it was in the deleted scene when they walk off before cuts to her being attacked by the monster. There is a scene where they are leaving the house to go towards the snowplow, and one of the snowmen in the creepiest shot of the movie. It shows the snowman turning his head to follow them leave. It's so creepy, but
Yeah,
it's so cool. It's so
yeah,
cool.
it's following him. Krampus could use a nail polish, says Mr. Angel.
Mm,
He could use a manicure.
mm. He can use a mani petty. He can use a manicure.
So on the way to the snowplow, the rest of the family are pursued by the snow monster. Tom tries to stop it with the shotgun, but it doesn't really help. So he sends the rest of the group to the snowplow while he holds off the monster. Outside of the snowplow, Linda gets trapped, gets eaten by the snow monster. And then Sarah decides not to go into the snowplow, but to go back to the thing.
I'm trying to come
And she
off
is
it.
also taken by the snow monster. There is only Stevie and Max left.
You
They're
drive the
in
wheel and I'll steal the pedal.
they're so they are in the snowplow, but the dark elves come and capture Stevie. So
Yeah, I'll be the wheel, you be the pedal.
so Krampus confronts Max, gives him the bauble that's wrapped in a piece of his discarded letter. And as he is looking at this, you hear from Omi in a flashback. He left me as a reminder of what happens when hope is lost, when belief is forgotten, and the Christmas spirit dies. Realizing that he is responsible for Krampus's coming, Max chases after the demon and confronts him at the edge of a fiery pit.
Hey asshole, I take back my wish. I take it all back. Give me back my fairy.
He throws the bauble at Krampus's feet. It melts the snow and the earth opens into a fiery pit.
No, no, please. Oh, sorry.
Wait, Max begs for. I'm sorry, I was looking at the chat real quick. Max begs for Stevie to be spared and offers himself up as sacrifice.
Please, I know you can fix this. Give him back and take me instead.
Krampus touches the tears on Max's face.
What are you doing? I said.
Up, 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 and laughs. Go
They
ahead
did
now.
make it. They made his makeup look really good. Anyway,
Yes.
um, what are you doing? I said, take me. Take me. What are you doing? Take me. No, Stevie.
Krampus has Stevie thrown into the pit. Krampus then grabs Max to throw him into the pit.
No, no. Please don't throw me to the giant light bulb that looks like fire. I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be.
Although
The
Krampus
giant light bulb.
Although Krampus seems to accept his apology, he still tosses Max in as well. Max awakens in his bed on Christmas morning and, upon discovering his family alive and well, concludes that what happened was just a nightmare. About time you got up. We've been waiting forever.
Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, kiddo, we thought the sugar plum fairies may have gotten you.
You're all alive.
Barely. I haven't felt this hungover since the Pope died. However, as they find Krampus's bauble among the presents, the family exchanges troubled looks, recalling memories of the horrific events.
I just wanted Christmas to be like it used to be.
That's what a family is, Max.
Nothing nothing's bad going to happen on Christmas, right?
I just got my ass kicked by a bunch of Christmas cookies, so trust me when I say I can take it.
There why some people shouldn't be allowed to breed. God.
Do you think they took Howie because of the time he painted the cats?
And as he had for thousands of years, Krampus came not to reward, but to punish, not to give, but to take. As the camera pulls out, We see that the house is shown through a magical surveillance snow globe, along with hundreds of others in a vast collection in Krampus's underworld lair in the mountains of Central Europe, for him to monitor and spy on for having spared them. The end. And that is our rendition of Krampus. He was kind of pulling a Groundhog Day. Yes, but that leads us to our discussion.
Probably there's going to be
Because
some debate here with this.
yes, because there it is ambiguous on the ending. So, did they get a second chance? And is Krampus just monitoring them? Or are they trapped forever in that snow globe to live that over and over and over again?
Yeah.
That's what personally I think, because they're like, if you look at some of the other snow globes, it's really hard to, but like they're all their own separate little like memories, because that's kind of like what a snow globe is. They're all like memories
Mhm.
engraved in time. Just when you shake it up, it just starts over again. And I feel like whenever he uses that again, it just starts all over again whenever he wants to, like his own little, um, carousel of memories, I guess.
I like Mr. Angel. Krampus loaded up a shotgun, put on the sunglasses, and said, "I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby."
Baby.
And
And
that, but
please,
see, my thing is that I didn't like in this version of the ending. Um, and I'll explain the other reason why I say that in a minute. But I didn't like how it kind of showed all the family members reacting to him seeing the ornament. I kind of wish it was just the grandmother and him, because those are the two that really started the whole shebang
because
with
they're the one
Krampus.
that summoned Krampus.
But both times,
Mhm.
which if you have the bought the movie on Movies Anywhere or iTunes, there's an alternative ending where it's the same. It's mostly the same, but instead of all the family members noticing it, it shows Max seeing it, but then it shows the grandma looking down at him at the ornament, saying like, "Yeah, you messed up."
Yeah. Well, and okay, I think, and here's some of my reasonings. Well, Peter Venkman Fansite says, was it all just a dream? No, because of the bauble. If he didn't have the bauble, then we could that could be another alternative, that he just dreamed it. It was like a Dallas TV show moment. It was all a dream. But he had the bauble. So
That was kind of like, oh, this is a
that
little more
kinda
real than I
made it
thought.
like it was real. And Buddy says, "I didn't take it as spy globes. I thought more they would relive the Christmas over and over."
Yeah,
I am
and
going to take I'm gonna take a different approach,
I feel like
because and the reason I'm saying this is, I read that, the director, really liked A Christmas Carol, and
mhm,
he kind of patterned it some after that, and also the fact that Alistair Sim,
it's
the
playing in the
Christmas
beginning.
Carol was at the beginning, and at the end of that movie, there is a second chance and there was redemption.
Hmm.
And so that's why I'm thinking, I think they kept it open ended so it could be interpreted in different ways, and to allow discourse, um, it could be however you thought. But
Well, let me.
but let me finish. But I think that because of that, that this was their second chance. It was their, Ebenezer Scrooge. Max was like Ebenezer Scrooge. I hate Christmas, plop, and he learned a lesson. And they also said you never saw any of the um, family members die. And so, I mean,
And
But
you
I'll tell
saw
you, but
Jordan. You saw Jordan die.
no, you saw Jordan being stuffed down the clown's throat.
right.
Okay,
The
you heard the dog die too. You heard the dog die.
You
well,
heard the dog whelp.
Mm.
yeah. Well, most of what I've seen people writing up about this has been that they did die. That this was like going to hell. That it was like
Like the
they were trapped, and he was watching them with all the others there, like in a tiny universe. They relive it. That's where they're going to be staying, under his supervision. I actually had somebody tell me, we talked about it on Twitter a little bit. They try to be positive and say, "Hey, it's a redemption story that they could actually avoid it to do better going forward."
Well, let
But
me
still, they had the real experiences to all of them because of the look that they did
well
that they
let me
had it
ask
in.
let me ask y'all this, Damon and Mrs. And mainly towards Mrs. But Damon, you could probably answer this too. With if the director took inspiration from A Christmas Carol and he used this film as the antithesis, do you think he could be using that ending as well as the antithesis to twist that second chance arc into being you're going to relive this forever and ever over and over again?
Yeah.
and I do have a question about this movie. Okay, so since Krampus like punished the entire town,
Hmm.
were they all like
That's one of the biggest problems I
because
had with it about being,
because
you know,
because I understand in Omi's in her story that because she said the whole village was
Which is
they
why, which is why I wanted to ask you this: the other snow globes that Krampus had, they could be the other houses from that neighborhood. Because if you think about it, when they go investigate the daughter's boyfriend's house, it looked like the very same thing that happened to that house that had happened at Max's house.
but see,
So
here's
right.
the problem I got with that. What did those people do? What did the DHL driver do? I mean, they didn't do
well,
anything
and,
about
and
Krampus. They were celebrating Krampus,
Were they
so it's
just
kind of like,
like just
I mean,
what's it
or the snowplow driver.
well,
I
here's
mean,
here I'll raise you this. I'll raise you this.
what?
It could have been that the DHL driver, he could have just been what's the term I'm thinking of? Like he could have just been scarred me. Like he could have just been just because he was there, he off them
just
for seeing
damage?
them.
What's that
But I'll
word?
tell you the
Damon, he could have just been damage control,
Collateral
collateral
damage.
damage. But see
collateral
that,
damage.
but see then that see that's one of the things I've argued that it's not real. That it's like a memory to the family to ship
But
up, or ship,
but it's Krampus.
but
He's
still,
come on.
but still though, still.
But I think
The whole point was that he went to get the people that gave up on the spirit of Krampus. I mean, of Christmas and
Christmas.
stuff like that. It's like we got no backstory about this DHL driver,
Be-
no about the snowplow driver, or the other boyfriend's family. It kind of to
Because
me.
you didn't need it. You didn't need it.
Well, but
It
but
was
but then
obvious.
but then Krampus is an indiscriminate killer. Then that I find that's the part I cannot understand. If it is a message, that it's only these people are going to be entrapped in hell because these other three people did nothing that we know of, and they got dragged in because Krampus is going to scorch their sermon through Georgia with everything in sight. Which, really
Okay,
his point was
and
this one family. I thought.
Let
okay,
me read
and
let me
okay,
let me read a
and
couple of let me read a couple of comments here real quick so we can make sure we didn't. He says, uh, we got the one here that Buddy said, I didn't take it as spy globes. I thought they would relieve Christmas over and over. Mr. Angel says the globe is a close singularity, a tiny universe that they relive it until either redemption or doom hits them. And Buddy says, I think I would like it even more than it's just Max and Krampus took him instead like the deal, but gave him the memory of family to live with in perpetuity.
exactly.
Very interesting. And hell is your own imagination. It's he there spell check did that. It is imagination left unchecked in an eternal time loop.
Hmm.
Very interesting. The family would have been restored in real life. Um, and may
Strangely.
have been Krampus is unleashed and he will take anyone who doesn't have the Christmas spirit in their heart.
Which
It's
makes you want.
it says,
Which
and the DHL guy had it coming. Krampus warned him, "Don't throw my packages in my yard."
Well,
which
they left
which
him on the
which
doorsteps.
which leads you back to the vine. Well, two things. First of all, that means you said he's an indiscriminate killer. Well, Santa's an overlapping sack of joy. So that I mean, he's the complete and utter opposite.
No,
He
he
is,
doesn't, because Santa will not give presents to naughty kids.
and okay, and Krampus will not give joy to good kids.
Yeah, but it's different than just going around killing
And
people,
and
taking them to
and
hell. The
and
driver.
and, and second of all, Second of all, like Buddy said, who doesn't have the Christmas spirit in their heart? Think of it this way.
Maybe
And,
it could have been that.
I,
one of the songs they literally play is he knows if you've been bad or good, whereas Krampus knows if you have that
but
Christmas
see,
spirit in
I
your
think
heart.
the DHL driver, if we go back and watch the scene, I don't think he was negative or anti-Christmas. I think he was trying to get down his route to get home to
But
start
it
celebrating Christmas. So
but
we'd
it
have to
can
go
be
back and look at that.
but you got to think of it this way too. People wear masks. Things are not,
It
appearances can be deceiving. Appearances
it
are
would
deceiving.
it would have been nice if the delivery guy and he just kind of went, yeah, and I have, being a little grumpy, like, yeah, I'm having to work here, and you know,
See that, but
something
the deaths and the disappearance of the snowplow driver, the DHL driver sitting
because
there
the
terrified,
snow.
and the boyfriend's family. To me, they distracted from this movie because I
To me,
started focusing about them and not the family itself.
to
Because
me,
I
the the one that was explained the most was the
wait,
boyfriend. I feel like
wait, wait, Mr. Angel.
yeah.
Yep, it's
Um,
sponsored by FedEx, taking out the competition. Sorry.
I felt like the one that they explained enough was the boyfriend. I felt like when they showed that everything that happened to the family had happened to him specifically, I felt like that was explanation enough that he had done something similar to to Omi, that he had messed up. That's what I took
Mhm.
from that family. Now the DHL driver, okay, I'll give you that one. But I felt like the boyfriend was explained fairly enough. I felt like he was explained enough.
Well, and the snowplow driver, he had Christmas presents on the seat with him. And it's like, that's why I think that they
Yeah,
did a
but
little
did
bit
he
too much.
beat somebody? Do you know? Maybe he was in the opening scene beating somebody up to get the present.
Yeah, Buddy said,
Or
is
maybe
the
maybe he was drunk and he had something that he shouldn't have and he was gonna mess with him.
oh my gosh, we talking about perfection. It's like, but anyway, DHL driver was the one guy Buddy didn't hate from his interactions. I know
Yeah,
exactly. It's just,
yeah,
and that's where I thought that they brought these people in and kind of
or
left them
maybe.
as. I think it to me it kind of
But
distracted from
did
the
they
movie.
really kill the? I
As I understand
I
it, these were meant to
well,
be literal deaths in this
okay, no,
from
I'm
the
not
official
saying no, no,
interpretations.
no, 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 no. I'm not saying he died, but did he did he like maybe see Krampus or something
Yeah, that's
and
what I was
die
thinking. Like,
from fright because he was screaming? And
Right.
see, everyone else disappeared. He didn't disappear.
and also think about it this way: all the other characters Krampus came and took, except for one. You know which one he didn't come and take? He didn't take the daughter at the beginning of the film. He used the Jack in the Box to take her. So what if he used something else to get him? That's what I want to know.
I think the DHL driver just died of
Like that,
fright,
yeah.
and
Like
then
if
he
someone
was.
sees him, like if someone sees him that he's not targeting, they'll die from fright.
I mean, I would probably die from fright if I saw
Mm.
Krampus like that. That's
I
scary.
I would go Arnold Schwarzenegger and be like, that's one ugly mother sucker.
But he is the only one that did not disappear.
No, the no the daughter didn't disappear either. I mean, she literally died from the Jack in the Box. Like, come on, she died from the Jack in the Box.
No, 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 no. I'm saying I'm saying they all died, but the FedEx the the DHL driver, they didn't take him away, throw him in the pit, or do anything to him. He was there.
Mhm.
Derek was gone. Beth disappeared.
They didn't.
Jordan was eaten.
Jordan died from, well, Jordan, you saw him die in a way. You saw his feet going down the throat, but that like most of them they did just disappear. Like Aunt Dorothy, the Howard, he they disappeared. Yes, but like for example, like Jordan, you saw him
Yeah,
eating
you
Jordan.
did.
Like you saw that. You
Yeah.
heard the dog whelp, and then when the daughter died under the truck, you saw the truck
Right,
shaking.
but
You heard him
I
eating.
think you're missing the point I'm saying. I'm saying that everyone that was interacting with Krampus, that Krampus had targeted Max's family, the bodies were gone.
Hmm.
So I think the DHL driver, it was left in the truck, and so that's why I think he 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 was not an intended
Target.
person,
He was
a
collateral
target.
damage.
I don't think, because I think if he was, they would have taken him and threw him in the pit or done something with him.
No, you know what I do wonder? I wonder if that is the power of Krampus. Like he has the power to like free somebody in time, and then that way, whenever he's done taking his revenge, he's able to kind of like wipe the memory from their mind. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows?
Now, you know how like in some
Yeah,
movies when people see Santa, they get the memory erased. You know, like they don't
Yep.
remember
yeah,
it. I
yeah,
wonder if that's something like that.
yeah. I don't know, but my thing is I don't think, uh, like I say, I think he was. I don't think he. I think he had Christmas spirit because I don't know if on Christmas Eve I was out delivering presents in a snowstorm, I would have been a little bit grumpy and I would have been cursing the whole Christmas thing, you
I I
know.
think
And
I
he
think
and he didn't, you
I
know.
think he just like froze him until he was done, and then he could just until he
I
finished his
think you're
rampage.
reaching, but that's okay.
No, 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 no. I think because he knew that the driver didn't do anything. I think he just kind of, you know, put him off to the side. You know what I'm saying? And just kind of like he did something to him, just kind of screw with him because he's Krampus. But I feel like he just pulled kind of like a little prank on him. You know what I'm saying? Like he did a little
I
mischievous thing just to
I
kind
yeah,
of mess
I
with
think
him.
I think you kinda have to make
Assumption from
your own
that.
story
I
there, yeah. So, Mr. Says, "Listen, it's simple. Krampus brings gifts. He is the OG, delivery company. He just doesn't like modern competition.
buddy.
He just can't compete with their prices.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
On the bad
went
side.
broke and is now on a revenge rampage." Yes. Freeze-dried
Buddy.
freeze-dried DHL driver, yes. So, okay, so now let's talk. We kind of what okay, that was something that Dadman, it kind of bothered him about. So
It
what
has.
are some scenes that bothered you? I kind of alluded to one of them, but
Why don't you go
Atwood,
ahead and start? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, Atwood, go ahead. What was
Well,
the one scene
okay.
where there's anything that well, do that let's first do scenes that bothered us. Dadman did the whole, carpet bombing of the
Okay.
town.
So there are a couple minor things, but the two big ones, and in no specific order. The first one that you audibly heard me cringing at was the one where the mom dies. I'm blanking on her name, but
Sarah.
Sarah, the way she, oh my god, it's like she acted like she was gonna go back and save the sister, like she could have actually done something. She was already gone. Why the hell did she not get in this freaking truck? The fact that she didn't get in the truck, just oh my god, scene just wanted. That scene made no sense. They could have been fine. Everything would have been fine and dandy, like Dolly
See, I
Parton and Hard Candy
mhm.
Christmas. She would have been fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think instead of her going, "Goodbye, Max, I love you," and dying, I think she should have, like, maybe, reached if she needed to die,
Like
but I don't like the way they did it.
I felt like her sister, like she audibly, like she visibly couldn't make it. Like he actually got to her. The mom, he had not gotten to her yet. She was fine.
Right. I think
But
I
they,
if
but
she
they tried to make it seem like she was gonna go back and save the sister when she was clearly dead by that point.
yes.
Which it ticks. Oh, that's the
She
big
thought
one.
she thought she could get to the chopper.
Yeah,
See,
that scene just makes me that. Oh my god, that's
I
arguably one of the worst decisions they made out of everything people make.
I think Howard, abandoning all the living people, that pissed me off. Those
Well,
2
that
adults,
well
those
that scene didn't. If he had actually left, it would have bothered me. But when he saw that and then said, "Oh crap," and then came back inside with the mom, I felt like that kind
no,
of
no, no, no,
answered that.
no. I'm talking about when he jumped onto the clown.
Oh yeah, that
That ticked me that to me is the same thing like what Howard did was like with Sarah, and if they would have taken with Sarah, And if she just would have had,
Well, at least even with at least when Howard did it, it still made more sense because he was like, "Okay, I give up. Screw this. I'm done." Like he visibly gave up. The mom was just a complete
yeah, but
idiot.
he abandoned his wife and his daughter.
His
I mean,
daughter had already been taken by Krampus.
not
He said,
Stevie. There were two of them.
"Okay," but his
Stevie was
main
still there, and yeah,
But he's like, they're okay. Stevie's grown up at this point. She'll be fine. The baby kind of set him off properly. Probably that
maybe,
I can let
maybe.
that one. I can
Okay,
let that one. I can let
okay,
that
well,
one.
little Chris.
That one annoyed me, but I can still let that one slide over the mom dying. The mom one was
Yeah,
just utterly stupid. It
yeah.
ticked me off. And then the other scene the other big one that annoyed me was when the son gets taken by the gingerbread man, right? And they're all trying to get at him to pull him down, and both him and the mom both see the gingerbread man taking this kid, and the Howard is still oblivious to be like, "Oh, this story is bullcrap." Like, dude, you just saw it happen in front of you. How
I
can you
don't
not
think.
believe it at
No,
this
he did
point?
not see the gingerbread man.
Well,
I
but
don't.
what? Sarah saw it.
Yeah,
Sarah,
Sarah did, but Sarah didn't tell any of 'em what it was because he. It was like every time he asked,
but see,
uh,
my thing is like, who else is gonna take this kid up the damn chimney?
the elves,
But who do they work for?
Keebler,
Krampus. Come on. That seemed to me like I'm like, dude, you just saw your kid get dragged up a chimney. What do you think happened? Come on.
right? So, Buddy says, I hated them letting the daughter go out into that storm for a booty call. They've lost their god-darn minds. They
Yeah,
and when the family, they didn't even realize they left the baby in the Hummer when they got there.
that too. That's the I'm glad you reminded me of that because that would they like who in their right mind like I would at the very least sent somebody with her. And then you know what cracks me up every time is how the moment they go to look for Beth, it's instantly, hey, let's hop in the Hummer and go look for her. Why didn't you offer that to Beth when she wanted to go look for the boyfriend?
Yeah, give her a ride. Exactly.
Whether no matter screw what Howard was doing at the moment, be like, hey, our daughter wants to go check up on him. Could you please help her?
Can we drive there? Can I drive
Yeah,
your Hummer? Whatever.
yes, something like come on. That's
Well,
just whether you're like you clearly care for your daughter, and for that to just that was a complete like abandoning of
yeah.
character development. Like, come on.
And Dadman, what things bothered you besides the whole everybody dying in the town?
um,
Did
there were some annoyances about when they put when they brought all the big red sack of presents in. It's like, do you not bother to check them, or do you not
Yeah,
understand?
nobody. The fact that nobody checked it.
Yeah, it
well,
just got stubbed up.
I think, uh, I think the Howard just brought him in, and they
Well, no,
just kind of
there was
plopped him.
No, the wife did. His
yeah,
wife
there was
did.
a
Oh,
scene where the wife moves the sack and she moves it
oh,
across
okay,
the room and she doesn't look in there.
Right.
Now, which brings me back to which makes me wonder. This is just one of the things you wonder. What if the DHL driver told them that he didn't look in there when he really did? What if he was a snoop?
maybe who knows?
And maybe the toy when he looked in the sack and they didn't do anything, the toys came back and got him. That's an
Who?
interesting theory. That's an interesting
See,
theory.
I thought DHL driver delivered something else, and they were just
Yeah,
anyway.
he delivered a package. Yes,
But the big
because
red sack of
they asked
presents I
about
thought
the
was
big
something else,
red sack, and he
and he
goes,
didn't
"It
live it
must have."
there.
He said it must have been from the boys in brown from UPS.
So
Yeah.
I wonder if he looked in there and he didn't say that. Oh, well, that's what
Who
that.
knows?
Yeah.
But the biggest scene that annoyed me was the mom dying.
Yeah.
That sent me over the edge. If you should have seen me while I was watching that movie. I was
Yeah,
screaming at the TV at that scene. That because the actress that plays her, Toni Collette, she's a very talented actress. She was in a movie called Hereditary. That she was snubbed from that nomination, y'all.
I yeah,
uh,
I one
so,
of the other scenes was the dinner scene. I know it was set up to start the fight and get the
Oh,
anger
wait, 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 wait,
for the whole thing. But you know, that's just it did. You know how we talked about with Elf and all, just those cringe scenes, and you're just you feel for the characters. That was kind of the what you knew what was coming,
mm.
and it was like a hard scene to have to sit through to watch the kid get embarrassed personally and be picked
See,
on and everything else.
I
you
did.
know, sorry.
Go ahead.
That scene kind of that I kind of like that scene from a sibling perspective because growing up, my stepsister, she was the one that kind of like held me back. So like I love the fact that it was kind of like hold me back. Don't if you don't hold me back, I'm gonna clown on these kids. I like that because that is something that I felt like that is something that would actually happen.
Mhm,
Like like the mature sister, like, hey, don't do it. You're gonna don't give in to their bull crappery, like
mhm,
that's something that would happen because it's happened to me. I felt like that was an accurate representation. Now the whole Stevie and Jordan thing, that yes, that annoyed me, but the dynamic between the siblings right there of the I wish she would hang out with me more, I felt like that was very well played out.
mhm. Anything else, Deadman?
Uh, no, I'm having to respond to my sister real quick.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad.
Okay. Well, I will tell you what annoyed me. These are the things that annoyed me. Why didn't Naomi warn Max? Huh?
What do you
Why?
mean?
Well,
She literally told him the story about Krampus.
no, after he had done everything, when did she tell him the
Well,
story about
well,
Krampus?
we don't know that. We don't know that. She could have
I
told him
don't think
before the
she did
movie.
because Max didn't know understand why she was upset, every Christmas, right? And Tom, his dad said, she doesn't like want to talk about it. And I understand that. But knowing and seeing what's going on with, all this shit with Jordy with Stevie doing that with the letter and all that stuff. Do you think she would kind of warn him, says, "Hey, I understand this is bad, but
Yeah,
keep
I
your
can see that.
Christmas."
I feel
Why
like
didn't
that.
she do that?
I,
Why didn't she do that? That that annoyed me.
I do
Um,
feel like that. I do feel like that. Even if she didn't tell him the full story, she could have told him something to where to the effect of where
hey,
he wouldn't
Santa
say that.
Megatron, hello.
But
So
um, but what Buddy Hepburn says, where he says, "Agree," but I didn't like the sister stick up Mac before that. That was just more of a sibling thing, and I that they still
yeah,
played that well.
I agree. I agree. I was pissed off at Beth. I'm like, why are you not, you know, why is she just saying, Max, sit back, Max, sit back? Why
Because
did
she's trying to help tell him to be the better person. She's trying to tell him don't give in because you're gonna make it worse for yourself.
but I don't mind her saying that, but I think she should have said something to Stevie like, "Hey, that's not cool."
She did. She did. She said she.
After no, after Stevie had started reading this stuff and when it got to the point where his wish list was like, "Hey, we need to stop now." You should at the very beginning, "Hey, that's not yours."
Because it's one of those things where okay, at first it's a little fun, but she got to the point where it was too far. That's what that
Well,
was. It
she
was like
was
okay,
also at the beginning of the credits videotaping Max having the crap beat out of him for uh
oh come
back
on.
attack.
But see
She did. No, no,
that
I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just saying I can because
but that
you know
that's a very sibling thing to do.
yeah,
That's a
I'm not
very
saying
sibling
that
thing to
that's
do.
bad. So it kind of makes sense. Her kind of like, okay, let's see where this goes. Okay, it's now gone too far.
Now, like if she was just straight up just being a witch the whole time, I'd be like, okay, come on.
Yeah,
But the way they developed that chemistry was done very well.
because I think when he said that he wants to hang out with her more, she really was like,
Wow, I can't believe you said that. Thank you.
um,
Like
So
she felt like, wow, I need to do that more.
right. So that the whole Omi not saying anything bothered me. Um, and the
That
mom
was
bothered me. And
I feel like
so
of all the dynamics in that movie, and I think of all the dynamics movie, the best relationships in that movie was the brother and the sister, and then I did like the chemistry between um oh my god, I did like the chemistry between Linda and Sarah, especially in that one extended scene where they explain, are you jealous, stuff like that.
right, yeah,
I did like that development. That was really
right.
good.
So now we've got the parts that we didn't like. So we're going to look at the chat here real quick and let's say some of the stuff
Well,
that
um,
they.
I'm still trying to think about other scenes that annoy me,
Okay,
but
that's okay.
y'all go
You
ahead.
go ahead and think, and I'm going to see. Let's see. Let me find here. So the stuff we mentioned about them not even realizing they left the baby. Um,
I do wish they would have confirmed
uh,
what language Omi was speaking. I do wish they would have confirmed that.
Hmm.
so good night, Mr. Angel. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you want to
Yes.
quickly put what your rating is of this movie out of 10 stars, that would be um, um, that would be fantastic. And Buddy says, I think for me being the older brother, I would have shut those numb nuts down fast.
And see,
Yeah.
here's the thing
It's
about that, buddy, because I was the middle child on my mom's side. On my dad's side, I didn't have any siblings, but on my mom's side, it was me, my older stepsister, and my younger half brother. And in that regard, as a brother to brother aspect, yes, I would have done that. But as a brother and sister dynamic, and considering how she was the older sister and kind of kind of helped raise me, that made sense.
mhm.
It's a sisterly
Well,
thing.
I'll tell you
Okay.
what the biggest thing that it's still. I know we talked about the ending scene, but it just I know some movies like In the Mouth of Madness had that. Is it real or is it not? But you kind of but it kind of you leaned in a direction that yeah, it was real. This one just the way it ended just left it
Yeah,
too open,
it
as
did.
as there was like no resolution. Did we just watch a Dallas movie scene, a
I would
TV
have
show
been.
where the whole season was a thing? Mrs. What do you think? I mean, because what
Well, I've already said
was it but was it a good ending though for a movie for you? Was it a good ending?
I did not mind the ending. I think this you cannot really without the having some narration over it, um, which I think would have been awful. I think them just panning out like that.
I th-
I think it kind of leaves. I don't have a problem with it being ambiguous because everybody has their own opinion,
Yeah.
and because the director is not saying he was asked, and they will not say what their intention was at the end of the movie. I think
Hmm.
they want that ambiguity so that you can interpret it how you want.
And it keeps the
yeah,
movie interesting for people to argue and have discussions like
Right.
this down
and
the road. So
my thing with the ending is as I said earlier, I do like the alternate better where it just shows the grandmother and son. But another thing is I felt like of all the Christmas horror movies I've seen and all the Christmas movies in general that I've seen, I feel like this one would have been the only one where I truly would have been okay if it had a dark ending and it had kind of went towards the enemy for Krampus, because I feel like that was kind of the point of the whole movie, to be like, hey, don't don't screw up during Christmas. You need to believe in Christmas,
yeah,
because that's
I,
my feeling about it, because I
yeah.
feel like
Right.
you have a movie like a Christmas Carol where it's
Mm,
saying where it's showing the good side of it, where I feel like
yeah.
as Krampus it needs to show you it needs to play the bad cop in that regard, to be
Yeah.
like, look, you don't want to listen to the good cop like a Christmas Carol, here's the bad cop, this is what you do where when you F around and find out.
Right. Right.
I just think, and I will say, I thought it was kind of funny when the log got thrown out the fire and they started the fire on the Christmas tree as reminders of Jingle All the Way. But but I still think what
She
the
loved that
annoyances or
movie.
the problems that I had were probably. I get to think about it. They're more nitpicky than anything else.
Yeah,
They
they're
may have
not.
been
Yeah,
annoying and problematic, or like you can complaints, but they're
Mhm.
annoyances.
I feel
right.
like yeah, most of the problems in this that one of the good things about this movie is that most of the problems in this movie are nitpicky.
Yeah.
And they're not like true problems. I feel like the only true problem and I like was like the true blatant problem was the mom thing that they should have played out even if she did die, I wish they would have played it out a
But
little bit
but
differently to make it not as stupid.
she always was wanting to go run out and do this and do that, and it was like you've got
But,
a kid here that and you want to
but
go out into a storm. But yeah, so
But of all,
but
but like
I
but of all times and of all the reasons to do it,
yeah
why that reason?
I agree. I
Don't
agree with
make
you.
it. Don't give the reason that she wanted to save her sister who was already dead.
See, I don't. Yeah, I think that was stupid. I think that was a whole stupid scene. Now we are
Like
going to
if they,
say, let's go and say the parts that we liked. And I'm going to go and I like Mr. Angel said I love the animated part in this movie.
yes,
That was really well done. Let me
yes,
go through all these here. I loved it when Omni was speaking in English for the first time and
yeah,
Dorothy sang, I knew it. Made me chuckle. Yes. Um, and I think that that
Buddy
is
Hepburn had one down here when they hung the Christmas photo, and
yeah.
the mom sees Mall Santa creeping at the sister.
Yes, I thought that that was funny. I thought,
And we got 10 people hanging out with us tonight,
well,
Mrs.
thank you, 10 people hanging out. Appreciate it. So let's start with Dadman. What are the scenes that you liked in this movie?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily a scene, but the
Or whatever.
creatures, uh, the 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 creatures themselves. I mean, that freaking clown was nasty as anything, and it
hmm
had the teeth like a mall, like a sci-fi terroristic creature. It was really really cool. The gingerbread guys were. I thought they gave a good bit of levity. Yes, the
hmm
nail gun was a bit much in terms of realism, but hey, it's
hmm
just a movie. And it just was. I thought it was really great. The whole scene in the kitchen, I mean, getting a shot at with the nail guns and all that, and then Rosie saves the day eating the daggum gingerbread cookies, flying through the air. That dramatic scene, and then it's like he's like, "Oh, I'm still alive," and then you see the dog uh, licking its lips after eating the gingerbread cookie. Those were some of the good scenes I liked with that. I think even though it annoyed me, they did a good job in the dinner scene creating the family tension
Mhm.
uh, to lay the groundwork for why the kid got so mad and angry, and which ultimately gave us the reason for uh, Krampus. And probably one of the others was, like it was referred to earlier, the animated montage for Omi's recollection from her childhood. That was very well done to advance the plot. The animation was good. We got little details of the arguing, the fighting, the Krampus getting there, taking them away. I
But
was really loved Krampus winking at her.
mhm.
yeah, which was very a nice little touch on that. Yeah,
Hmm.
Well, to me, it's kind of like the same that was when his winking to Omi when she was a child is the same as when
he almost
um,
touches her.
no, when he wipes the tear off of
Max's
um,
Hmm.
face. Yeah,
Max's face. It's that kind of a little intimate moment, and then it's like, oh well, screw you now, kind of,
Now,
Um,
but Mr. Angel did have a criticism. I think we call it critique. By the way, I have the distinct impression the movie had some editing issues. Seems the story originally had other timeline sequence, hence the strange inconsistencies.
which I responded
Uh,
with. I do believe that the naughty cut helped fix a lot of those inconsistencies because it did move some of the stuff around to kind of make it make
mhm.
more sense, and especially like some of the scenes, especially like where Linda and Sarah are talking. That scene that was added up a little more to that, which really helped smooth things out. I feel like that helped with development.
Yeah, they did actually part of it, the thing they did move some of the scenes to make it make more sense and more consistent.
Mhm.
Right. So, okay. So, is that the stuff that you liked, Dad Man?
Yeah, that's probably a few things. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know.
Okay.
You, but y'all might cover it.
So, Atwood, what are some of the stuff that you like?
Okay, so my I have a couple minor things, but my big three things. Okay, so first of all, the practical effects in this movie are
Mhm,
amazing. The way they made Krampus look, that's all practical. That's not CGI. That's all makeup and costume.
mhm,
That's all practical. The little Jack in the Box. Other than the mouth, that's all real. And I think even the mouth is some real. I think the only time it's not real is when it's moving. It's like an actual prosthetic, which I
mhm,
love practical effects. I believe that I prefer practical over CGI any day.
mhm,
And even the CGI that is used in this movie, like with the gingerbread man, minus the nail gun scene, of course. The gingerbread, they look great. Seeing them move around and attack, it didn't look stiff. It looked good. I love that. Another thing is, like I keep saying over and over again, the dynamic between the sister and brother. I love that. Um, and I love um, I love this movie. I think it's definitely has its moments. I do feel like this movie should have been rated R. I feel like PG-13 did hurt it a lot. Um,
mhm.
I feel like if they would have made it R, maybe let them slide with a couple more, maybe not over the top, maybe a little more violence. I think they could have done a little bit more because I feel like you like just going from the regular to the naughty cut, you could tell some of the scenes that just made it so much better when watching it. Um, which, as I said before, I wish that version was more available because I think as of right now, the only way you can watch that cut is if you have it on the Blu-ray edition, the that has the Naughty Cut edition on disc, or if you have it on iTunes or Movies Anywhere. I
Mhm.
believe are the only ways you can watch that cut, which is a shame to me. It's a shame
Yeah,
because I have the movie on Vudu and you can't watch it because I feel like that is the definitive version
right.
of the movie. And another thing I wanted to add was everything that comes out of Dorothy's mouth,
Yes.
I love. She's tied for my favorite character in this movie. It's either her or Tom because Tom's one-liners are freaking perfect, and his
Mhm,
facial expressions are great. I laughed every time, especially in the non-cut where Dorothy gets to be more vulgar.
mhm.
I love it. The scene that probably made the two scenes that made me laugh the most are first of all
Good night,
when
Mr. Angel. Close your eyes, rest, sleep.
yeah. I'm not even gonna go into the animated part because we already know how
Mhm,
good that is. But the get the frick out of my kitchen, love that. That made me laugh.
mhm.
The how would you like it if we came into your trailer and bitch and moan about
It
every
was
other?
just like the ultimate stress at Christmas.
Yeah,
It's like you said out loud what every
everybody
host,
was thinking. That's what everyone was
everybody that
thinking.
has hosted Christmas or a holiday dinner, and you have that one person that bitches about everything,
Mhm.
that's what you wanna say out loud to 'em.
Exactly. And then Dorothy just the the fact that she has no filter, it's just it's great. The whole because I know what it looks like when I was coming at you with his dick out. That I
Yeah,
love that. And then Tom, the other thing that made me laugh in tears was when Howard goes out the window and Tom's just like, oh great.
yep,
You just and what makes it even funnier is that he says this in the middle of the like utmost chaos that could be happening at the time, and he just stops and he's just like, "Oh, freaking great!" it's hilarious, but it doesn't distract from the scene
Right.
at all.
Mhm.
It makes they do it so well, and I love it.
Right. Okay, my parts that I liked in the movie, the animation, um,
Hmm.
was and I thought it was, good because they could have had her just kinda sitting there talking,
Hmm.
but doing the animation kinda gave you a break, and it also
Was the
gave you a
cherry.
it also gave you a chance to breathe a little bit,
Hmm.
because of just all the stuff that was happening.
Hmm.
I love that the costuming
Hmm.
was the character design, the monster design,
The
the
snowman.
all the all of it, all of that was phenomenal, was
Hmm.
absolutely phenomenal. The, s the, establishing shots, the scenes, every time, they do this scene outside the window, those wide shots, I just
Of
thought
the
that they
snowman,
were
yeah.
no, not just the snowman, but just like the town or
Uh huh.
just whatever. I love
Watching the
the
power go out, yeah.
I just it was those were really, really I really like that. I love Dorothy. I love
You
Dorothy a
love
lot.
Dorothy.
She just was,
Speaking of which,
she
if y'all,
they needed to have Dorothy to take, and cut sometimes some of the, scary stuff
Yeah,
that
I
well,
gave
feel
that
I
she
feel
gave
that
like
comic relief. She gave a little bit of comic relief, and
that was
the
needed, that
edgier,
but was appropriate,
yeah, the edgier
it
she was, the better she
because
was.
that's I mean, we all know people like that,
you
you
made
know?
it give you a chance to
So,
laugh and not be so intense the whole movie.
yeah,
Right.
and it'd be okay to laugh,
And I
because
feel like if there was only the PG-13 movie, like if there wasn't the naughty cut, you would have had to take her out of the movie because her vulgar lines are just
oh,
so great.
right.
Like
Yep,
you could like her vulgarness just from her. Like not if nobody else cussed, I would be fine with it. If it was just her cussing the entire time, I would be fine because the way she does it just makes it so much better.
right. Let's see, what else did I like? I thought Max did wonderful acting. I don't know who the actor is, but I thought he was really good, and because sometimes they just kid actors can be
Hmm.
horrible.
Hmm.
Um, Stevie and Jordan as actors were okay,
They do
um,
look a lot alike though.
but they were not my favorite actors. I don't know who I would have put in their place, but, I thought that, Max did fantastic. He had that
Hmm.
innocence,
Hmm.
um,
But he also had that, "Hey, you done enough."
it kinda had that war-torn look too. So I love the like you said, the practical effects. I love the costuming, so I agree with both of you on those. I think I liked the story. I really did. Even with the, ambiguous ending. I really liked it. I
Mhm,
like how it ended. It just was like, "Okay, here's all these snow globes, you decide." Um,
mhm,
but I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was
mhm.
good. So,
And speaking of
let me
which, if
say
you were
something real quick. Wait, let me say something real quick. For you guys out in the chat, if you have any scenes that you liked or didn't like, go ahead and put them in. If you would please put in your rating, and then we will give you that rating at the when we do our ratings.
I think if you don't, if by the way, if y'all were all wondering where you've seen Dorothy from, she was in Two and a Half Men. She was the one that lived with the two guys, and she was also in Aaron Bronkovich. She was the little the secretary like lady, the one like it's called accountability. Yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay. Why are you saying Macaulay Culkin? That
You
was
were
not
ta-
the
you were talking about child actors and
oh,
how and you was like Macaulay Culkin. Yeah.
Yeah,
so but the kid that played Max was
they
really,
did
really
really
Yeah.
good.
good. I don't know
And
if
I
he's done
think
anything else
Rosie,
since then.
Rosie was the perfect
That
choice
dog.
for dog.
That
But
dog.
so those are the things that we liked, and that we didn't like.
Well,
And
Howard was a good casting, though. I mean, particularly to
yeah,
get
Mhm.
he's
I
good in
think
that
they
role
did
and
good
everything
in the
he
casting.
does. Yeah, David, he's played an anchor man in a lot of the other movies and things like that. He actually, I think he was also in Get Smart as that kind of loudmouth, wisecracking
Oh,
type of
yes.
character. Yeah.
Speaking
Yes.
of which, if you like intense like suspense thriller, like not sure who I'm talking, like thriller, like Sixth Sense, stuff like that, like a twist ending that makes you go what the hell at the end. Hereditary. I will preach that movie to the grave as probably arguably the best horror movie of all time. Well, or thriller suspense movie of all time. It's great. Your jaw will be on the floor at the end of it, and for good
But
reason.
see, I one thing I also like with this movie, it gave you the good balance of the terror
Hmm.
of the scare, especially when you could see the creepy snowman or Krampus himself, without it being gory and stuff like that. Because I
Yep.
tell you, when I asked you about watching it, you were so uh, you had so much trepidation and all this, and I kept saying it's not gory and things like that. But because a lot of times these movies now tend to make
Yeah.
everything very about the gore and the blood and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
Misses the second movie we ever saw was in the Mouth of Madness, and that was a psychological horror movie that you recommended, and I'm like. So I think it goes back to Tiki Doll of the '70s and stuff like that. Well, a lot of the deaths and all this stuff happened off screen. Yeah, Tiki Doll had a little bit of blood at one point, but that was secondary to the sound, and the sound, what you
Oh,
don't see, the anticipation of something about to happen.
Hysteria is pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
I
and
was you
I
talk
do.
about the sound. So we talk about the sound effects that they did.
Yes.
Those FX, what are they? The all that
The,
stuff that was edited in after. Number one, they had to respond. They had to act, and they didn't hear it. You know, so to me, that was amazing in itself.
and I
But
do.
all the effects, they were wonderful. They were wonderful.
And
hmm
Jim, and I do think you're gonna be intrigued by what I have to say when about the gore stuff and my rating, because that does have something to do with my rating.
So, okay,
yeah.
so if you have not put your um, rating in, let's put it in now. And you got to count to five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just kidding. Um, so put your rating in now. And I think, do you think it's time for us to give our ratings, or do you want to give the ratings of those that have already put theirs in first? Let's do the people's first.
Yeah, agreed.
So let's see. First, we have a Santa Megatron. Are you
hmm
gonna pop them
Oh,
up for
okay.
me?
I
I mean,
I was
I don't know
I
what you
will
wanna do.
I
Okay.
will. I just
So
since you said
Santa
it.
Megatron, 2 Teslas out of 10. And Mr. Angel says a 7 out of 10 fun movie, leaves a lot to the own
Hmm.
imagination, beautiful animation, and entertaining to watch. Yes, this is a movie I don't mind watching
Hmm.
again. So
Yeah,
a 7 out of 10 that he gives.
that looks like the
Is
only
that
two with at least that I streamed. I don't know if Buddy put something in there
so let me see. So, yep. So if you have
or
a
Peter Venkman.
rating, that would
Yeah,
be great. Um, so, yes. So I think it is time for us.
Buddy he was at 4 to 4.5 before the stream, but he's moving closer to a 6.5 right now. Oh, out of 10. Oh,
Very good.
Buddy was not very impressed with that movie though. So,
Well,
interesting.
I wonder um, if your opinion would be changed if you saw the extended cut, the
I
naughty
do. I really do. I really
because, there were some scenes some stuff that they put in that, I think improved the
that helped the
film.
film. That helped the film.
So, I'm very curious about that. So, okie dokie. So, are we ready to, let's
Yeah.
continue let's go ahead and do this thingy. So, we have, done, this is our 5th movie, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, our 6th movie. Jingle All the Way. We have a 3 for me, an 8 for Dadman. Gremlins. We have an 8 for me and a 7 from Dadman. A Christmas Carol 1951. We both said 8. Santa Claus. I had 6, and Dadman did 5. Elf, we both said 4. Now, here are our votes for Krampus. Come on, come on, move. So here we go. Do you notice, Atwood, that you've got little Krampuses as your
Yes,
person?
I love that.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that.
So I said 8 out of 10 because I like this movie. I don't think there were things that irked me, but I don't think there were a lot of inconsistency. I love um, the character designs. I think they all acted in character. They never felt out of character, except for the one scene with the mom. But I think maybe she just kind of had lost it all at that point. Maybe I don't know, but I loved the cinematography, the sound effects, the creatures, the elves, all of them, their design. I
I
thought the actors were great in it. Um, uh,
I do want to
so
make an important disclaimer.
mm,
Just to make it perfectly clear, this is our ratings based off of the naughty cut of the movie, not the regular cut.
yes,
So it
yes,
could be a little bit.
that's
It
right.
could be a little bit different if you watch just the regular. So
Right.
be aware of that.
Um, so the reason I didn't give it higher. Hello, Lisa. How are you? I didn't give it higher was I don't because I really feel that it 8 to me, 8's a good score.
Mm,
I don't for something to get a 9 or 10, it's gotta be perfection,
mm-hmm,
and there were some flaws in this that, uh, bothered me, but not enough to give it a lower score than that, but I'll
mm-hmm.
watch the movie again. It could become a Christmas tradition. So,
Absolutely, I agree.
okay, Dadman, your turn.
I give it 8. Also, I mean, it's a very good movie. Like I said, some small nitpick things, but it's very entertaining. If you don't like gore, it's not gory. If you but it had a good plot. It had a good message. Oh,
I'm
buddy,
sorry.
that's good. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Now,
I had over 200 and something slides this,
yeah,
this
Wow.
stream.
buddy. Now you can watch.
Um,
If you can find it, you can watch the naughty cut and see what we're talking about and how much
yeah.
better it is.
Basically, though, I think it's one of those movies that's really good and solid. It's I kind of sad that it has the same rating as the Christmas Carol, Alistair Sim, but I think it talks about how good well they did with this movie. It wasn't just a cheap movie to either get jump scares or just it wasn't just full of jump scares and weak plot points and things. It was actually a really solid movie. I thought the pacing was pretty good. They
Hmm.
kept the action going. Uh, I mean, like I you like the characters. You either you hated the characters at times, then you felt sorry for them at times, and uh, you kind of didn't know what Krampus was going to do at the end with the kid, and
Yeah.
it was. I think just I was just trying to remember too with the 8. What was good was that this was a movie that I could actually have you tell you about. You watch, you enjoyed it, you actually gave it a chance, even if you didn't like it, but you were okay watching it. That it was actually one that could draw from general audiences. You could take a early teen to watch it or something,
Hmm.
because you don't have all the real life gore and all the other stuff. But like I said, I really think that the horror that I like is where you don't see the damage, you don't see the injury to people. It takes that away that visual reality, which I think sometimes overwhelms us. And the fact that you're having to sit there and visualize what happened, or that you see it, but it all happens off screen, which is a throwback to the way the 60s and 70s, how you saw it do, how you saw uh, things like that happen. You didn't get over it in a data with the violence and gore.
Eh, I know this is you're talking about your review, but you did, remind me something. I actually cared about what happened to these characters.
Oh yeah,
Mm,
Godzilla, forget it. All Godzilla
I mean,
movies is like, please kill the people, please eat the
there was
humans.
some we're just like, "Oh, please, take
except
them."
for the DHL guy, he kind of made
Yeah,
no sense. But
yeah, I know
yeah,
exactly. So if Peter Van Venkman fans like it's winking or something there. Wonder
he's
what
gonna
that
be
is,
our
but yeah,
he's gonna be our meme now. The DHL's guy's gonna be our meme now. Oh, we
I
know that.
gotcha. Oh,
Okay.
disturbing things highly implied. And see, I like that. I like that it forces your mind to have to complete the blanks. That's why I think Trilogy of Terror really terrorized me truly as a kid. That actually those nightmares stayed with me for years. I think that's why I liked that In the Mouth of Madness, and I was surprised to hear that you did not like a lot of horror misses. But then I finally realized it was the psychological part of it because that's kind of where my brain goes get on what like In the Mouth of Madness. I sat there like with this movie, was this real, was this not, what are I mean, how did it end? And I'm sitting there interested about the bigger picture of the movie, not just well it ended and the whole world went to hell. So but yeah, I'm really big with the heavy disturbing things and highly implied. I think that's very effective, and they did it very well here.
Okay,
Mhm.
Mr. Atwood,
Okay. So
explain to
so I'm just gonna go and throw this out there now. If I was just watching the theatrical version, it would probably be a six and a half. I'm gonna, or maybe even a 5.5 because of how much they left out. Okay, I'm just gonna get that out of the way. But watching the naughty cut, I would give it a 7. For four big reasons. And if they would have just fixed two of these, it would have easily brought it up at least half a point. Um, the first one is the rating, the PG-13 rating. I feel like if they had an R rating, they could have shown just a little smidge more. I feel like the PG-13 rating did bring it down a whole bunch. The second reason, which is kind of like the first reason, but it's kind of its own separate thing. Yes, I do like the ambiguity aspect of not of filling in the blanks. However, I think that if they would have just put maybe yes, there is Lisa, and it is better. But I feel like if they would have just shown one of them in a little, like not in a whole glorified the amount of detail, but just a smidge more detail. Like for example, with the DHL driver, I feel like if they would have kind of shown a little more what happened, I felt like it would have helped it because some of them they're too far much unanswered. Like Dorothy, Howard, like they didn't explain like at all what happened to them. They just showed them, dragged them away, and I feel like if they would have shown just a little bit more, it would have helped.
Yeah, because
Um,
the pit wasn't there yet, so they couldn't have thrown them in the pit. They were
yeah,
just
yeah,
gone.
they just kind of said, no, they're gone, bye. Um, and then the third reason was the mom. That
Mhm.
scene made me cringe to all hell. Um, and the one the I feel like I didn't mention this earlier, but the scene where the Dorothy is fixing to shoot the creature, I felt like I wish they would have just been like I wish she would have actually shot the freaking creature before she got snatched away.
She did.
No,
Did you? Oh, no.
she
Oh,
never shot. She never shot.
the clown,
Yeah,
yes.
she almost shot, but then she turned around and went, "Oh crap!" I felt like I wish she would have shot it and then heard them and then turned around and that happened. I felt like
Or even if she saw them, I mean,
I would
pull
have
the trigger.
gone gun ho on them and
Yeah,
went
I
started
would have been
shooting.
yeah.
Um, and
It
yeah, and the fourth and final reason is the ending.
mhm.
I feel like the alternative ending that they had on the special features should have been the main ending, and I will stand by that because I felt like
Which was the happy go
no,
lucky ending? No?
No,
no,
which
the alternate ending in the original ending, the whole entire family notices the ornament that Max was given,
Right.
whereas in the alternative ending, it shows Max opening the ornament. but rather than everybody noticing, all
Right.
you see is the grandmother looking down on him in the ornament,
Yeah.
being like, "Yeah, look what you did." Because I felt like that
Mm,
had more meaning to it because
Mhm.
those were the two characters that
mm.
started it.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on two reasons. One, I don't think so. I like the ending they went with the whole family realizing, and I think it added to the was this real or not because it gave validation to what had happened. Everybody had the same experience. The second is the naughty cut is not what you think it is. Uh, Honestly, to me, the naughty cut, other than maybe a couple of the lines from Dorothy, did not add much to me. I did not get the connection. I didn't feel how it felt. I mean, I expected a lot more from this quote
The
naughty cut.
the
I
two
didn't
sis
see more
the
graphic death. But see, the problem is, what it did not. It looked so much like the original movie. Maybe it's been that I haven't been so long
the
to watch it. I did not pick up on the big differences. I'm like,
the
where were these things?
Lisa and Sarah had an entire 2 minutes out of their conversation that wasn't
Yeah,
in the
but it's
original
about
cut.
mom and dad and all this. I mean, I'm like, oh,
What before seeing that scene in the new movie, you were like, oh, I you didn't care as much. I felt like I got
yeah.
like, yeah, it was only a minute and
Well,
a half, but that minute and a half added a lot of depth to those two
but see, the
characters.
thing is, when I hear naughty cut, I expect violence, gore, boobs, or something. You know?
They did change some of the it was one of those blink and you miss it things, but they did change a lot of the camera angles to show a little bit more violence, so
Mm.
that was a little bit different.
Well, that tree topper thing, that
The
cherub or
big
whatever that white thing was, that thing was freaky with the tongue and everything else,
the
and the way it
biggest
was
no
attacking.
the biggest noticeable gore shot that they added was in the attic, where the first one was when Linda was getting attacked by
Bear.
the bear, and then when the Tom was getting stabbed in the back
Oh
by that
yeah, that was
robot.
funny.
They did not do that much in the original. The original, he just kind of
Yeah.
jumps on his back and is attacking him, and the Nautica, you physically see him stabbing him in the back. They
Oh,
did
yeah,
not hold back on that scene.
yeah. Okay. Well, I just to me, it just when I got done initially, just at the cold walkthrough, was like I didn't feel like it added much, but hey, I guess every little bit helps. So
And I think you have to be careful when you're adding things because you want to enhance it, but you gotta be careful that you're not,
Hmm.
um, altering the spirit of the movie, which, I don't think, um, there was some extra, I don't even like using the word gore in this movie, just some extra,
But it added just enough
intensity.
to be like, I
Right,
enjoy it.
right, yeah, they added some intensity, they added that, but it did not, um,
They didn't
alter
overdo it. They didn't
the
overdo it.
the,
The
the
message.
way not necessarily the message, but, I mean, you can't go from a movie that doesn't have, gore in it to one that's a blood fest.
Yeah.
You would just the whole it's just the integrity of the movie would be gone. But they added what they added, I think
mhm.
it enhanced it, but it wasn't too much where it,
It's like, oh my god, I can't do this.
jarred you.
But the biggest scene that I that did that the biggest best scene they added in this Nautica was the sister scene when they're
Well,
talking about the tree, when they're going you make you make your house look like this, and it's like, hey, this is not it's not all fine and dandy like it looks. That whole dynamic, I loved that out of it.
mhm. And also you got to
Mhm.
know more about them.
Exactly. It added the depth. That's the
Yeah.
biggest one that I liked. And and the snowman watching them,
Oh,
turning his head.
yeah.
Mm.
That was creepy. That was creepy.
But it was dark. But it wasn't. They didn't overdo it. They did it. They played it so
Yep. Yeah, I
Yep.
think I think that stuff that they added, enhanced the movie, didn't, over,
saturated.
um
They didn't
yeah.
oversaturate it.
So, um, So I think we did good. Is there anybody else that would like to put a rating out? You got just about a few seconds to do that because I'm about.
Right.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Yeah. You know, the
Uh,
sister loves mac and cheese and hot dog. Yeah, I know. You know, but hey, you can't go wrong with. I mean, that's a comfort food though. Like, I could be down
yeah,
with
but
that.
you
But
don't bring it to a
yeah,
Christmas
yeah,
dinner. That's what's
yeah,
so fun.
yeah. That's something you would bring to a cookout.
Yeah,
Now,
or just
I do think mac and at least mac and cheese deserves to be at the table as a side dish.
yeah.
But
So
like even if it's a mac and cheese casserole, it's got to be something.
yes, yes. So everyone, we have, I think, concluded with our reading of the
2.5 hours, y'all.
I
Two
know,
and a
with
half
the
hours.
reading of the thing and our ratings. Does anybody else have anything else they would like to say about the film
And I
before
think
I go into one second, before I go into my shameless promotions, either on the panel or in the chat,
yeah,
and we will read
and
them.
I say that of all the streams that that I think this one was the one that would have been the longest solely because of just of us having to talk about the differences in the cuts.
Hmm.
Because I think that's and I'm not just saying that, but I think that yeah, I'm glad that we were able to discuss that.
Yeah,
And yeah,
because I think it does. There are different interpretations
and
of
I
it.
do believe I really wish, and y'all, I cannot please if y'all can find the naughty cut of this film, please. I'm gonna nail this in the coffin if I have to. Go watch it if you can find it, please.
I think it would change.
It
Well,
would
not necessarily
change.
change, but it would enhance
It
your
would you would like it more.
yeah.
You would
So,
appreciate it more.
okie dokie. Well, everybody, I thank you for being here. I'm now going to do my shameless promotions. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. Monday through Friday, morning musings with Mrs. Dadman Walking, your daily dose of positivity. 10 a.m. We do puzzles, birthday celebrations, and memes. Tomorrow at noon, we are going to be talking about 6 movies. They are a small one, A Charlie Brown Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Little Drummer Boy, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I have been saying Frosty the Snowman, but I am not doing Frosty the Snowman because number one, we only have so many hours in the day to watch shows, and all these kind of are really Christmas focused where I don't feel Frosty the Snowman is like a winter one that you happen to watch at Christmas time.
Wait, 6 or 4?
I have 6.
Oh, okay. Plus others. Sorry.
Yes, plus others. So, that's why Frosty's not on there. So those 6 that we have, we'll be, talking about them, um, tomorrow at noon. Sunday, we are going to be reviewing the movie, maybe, Christmas Vacation.
Hmm.
So
Buddy,
the 4K Blu-ray combo is on Amazon for 26. Steelbook is 33.
but you can get it on Movies Anywhere for $8 right now.
Yeah, but then you don't really have a physical copy. So
But
Christmas
but
Vacation.
you can rent it. Is my point. You can rent it. Okay.
A Christmas Vacation is Sunday at 8 p.m. Christmas Story Monday at 8. Tuesday, we're going to be doing some Lego creation stuff here at 1 p.m. The Home Alone 2 Lost in New York is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Scrooged. I am really looking forward to doing, um, whoops, I, um, watching this because I have watched this a long time ago, loved it. I want to see how well this movie ages, if a Bill Murray will annoy me or not. That's on Wednesday at 8. Thursday. at 5 p.m., I'm going to do Puttering Around with Lego Fortnite. And then we're going to have our last film, Klaus, which is on Netflix. So if you have on Netflix, I'd recommend watching this before the show. And that
And
is 8 o'clock.
it
All
truly
of
is
the,
one to watch if you haven't, folks. I mean, I like to mock some movies, but Mrs. is not kidding with this one. The animation was really good for its time and really had a very interesting message. It was really a good one. So watch Claws.
So all of this will is leading up to Christmas traditions with the Dadmans and Daisy Blossom Flower Child Friday at 8 o'clock, and this is on Dadman Walking 55's channel. So that will be Friday at 8 p.m. If you like what you see, you can support me on Ko-fi by buying me a cup of coffee. Um, at coffee.com, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55, or um, on the throne.com, a creator's wish list. Um, see what I like. That's also Mrs. Dadman Walking 55. If you want to
Thank you,
mail us
Lisa
something,
Story.
if you want to mail us something, you can. It's P.O. Box 26603, Jacksonville, Florida 32226. And by us, I mean me, Dadman Walking 55, or Angela, my youngest, who is a streamer on Twitch. You can check out my YouTube channel at Mrs. Dadman Walking 55, Twitch, Mrs. Dadman Walking, no punctuation, no numbers. Social media, Twix at M Dadman Walking, Threads at Mrs. Dadman Walking 55 with no punctuation, and Discord, Mrs. Deadman Walking, no punctuation, no number. If you'd like to be part of my server, do a friend request over on Discord. I'll accept that friend request and I will invite you to the server. If you don't want to be in this on the server but want to be a friend, go over there, do a friend request. I will accept that friend request and I will still send you an invite to the server. Just don't accept it. I will not be upset. I just can't read your mind. So that is our social media. Dadmans, all of them, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Dadman Walking 55. If there's not a G, it's not he. So that is where all his live streams are. So on that note, yes, join us tomorrow for 12 Movies at Christmas with the Dadmans, and that is at noon tomorrow. Um, so Um, I
Buddy,
hope to see you all there. And go ahead and respond. I think you're going to respond to the iTunes one.
yes,
So,
buddy. It said if you buy it on your Apple device, you could. It's on their iTunes extras. It's so whenever you go into it, you can turn on the naughty cut. It's got both.
okay. So, everyone, thank you for watching. It has been 2.5 hours doing this stream. Um, wow. And it has just been so much fun. I appreciate every single one of you guys that have been here and stuck this out. Um, so, thank you guys very, very much for that. So, as I always say, I will see you next time. And remember to be kind, to show love. Remember, you're not promised tomorrow. So go to bed with no regrets. And most of all, I wish you peace. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you tomorrow at noon for our next 12 movies of Christmas. Okay, everybody, say goodbye.
Bye. May chaos break the rules that bind, my friend.
Deadman's muted. So, so, okay. He's yelling
Good
in
night,
the back.
everybody.
Say good night, Deadman.
Good
Okay,
night,
good
Dad,
night,
man.
everybody. Bye bye.